to the Technical Foul Podcast. I am your host, Manny Fresh, joined by my co-host.
What up, people? It's Anthony Lucas, a.k.a. Luke, back in the building. One half of the Sports Dynamic Duo.
What up? What up? What up? This is episode 23 of our podcast. We're coming at y'all live Wednesday, May 31st, 2017. Almost June. Y'all know what that means. Tomorrow, finally, after fucking 6 months of just bullshit, of dreck, of wannabe superstars, of wannabe good teams, the NBA season finally starts tomorrow, basically, is what we're trying to say. June 1st, what we've been waiting for. Cavs, well, depending on if you're a fucking LeBron hater like myself. Warriors, Cavs, finally, the NBA regular season finally kicks off tomorrow. I know it kicked off officially like October 30th, but nobody cares about what the fuck happened. Like all this other elongated ass shit. Nobody cares about that right now. This is the real season right now. And finally kicks off tomorrow, man. NBA Finals. Cleveland Cavaliers going up against Golden State Warriors. The Trilogy. First time ever in NBA history that two teams have met in the finals 3 straight years. So just your thoughts, man, about everything that has transpired, all the bullshit that has transpired to this point, to finally get the main course. All the bullshit appetizers we had to eat. We finally get the fucking main course.
We're finally getting
we're finally
lobster and steak.
Yeah. I would say meat and potatoes.
We finally getting the gist of it, right?
Yeah, we don't know if it's filet mignon yet.
Yeah, we don't know, right? Yeah.
Right now it's just meat and potatoes.
You're right.
But your thoughts, man?
Hey, man. Like you just said, man. Everything you just said, man. We had to get through that long grinding season to get to this point. I mean, we should have played the best of 83 between these two teams in the regular season, cut everybody else out, and just let everybody else play for third and fourth place. But
basically.
We're here, man. We're finally here. Well, we're about to be here tomorrow, so we're finally at that moment, which the majority of the people predicted in the beginning. Not me. I didn't predict this finals matchup. I actually picked the Cleveland and San Antonio.
Yeah, we know, Mr.
But this was before Kawhi went down, and this is.
Niggas didn't have a chance even with Kawhi, man.
I predicted this before the season started, though. Man, it wasn't like I got on this.
Kawhi, man. You really think the Spurs would have beat the Warriors with Kawhi?
They were up 23.
So?
What? They were up 23 in game.
Okay, they were up 23.
Without a Tony Parker, and then Kawhi Leonard.
See, this is a Houston and James Harden who decided that he wanted to be up in the Kardashians.
James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are two different players.
I understand that.
And then Mike D'Antoni and Greg Popovich are two different coaches.
I get that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I get that.
You obviously don't because
I do.
Because San Antonio showed up.
They probably would have won that game, maybe, but. I still don't think they win the series, right?
You never know. I mean, that's your opinion.
I think it's a more competitive series. I will definitely agree with you.
That's your opinion. I'm just telling you what I picked.
Okay.
And then from what I picked,
go ahead.
From what I picked,
from
my prediction, I was looking good in game 1 until the injury, until the Zaza 2-step closeout. We call it
was dirty.
From now, come on.
Say it was dirty.
You know what? I don't even call it the closeout no more. I just call it the Zaza 2-step. We'll start doing that in the club. From now on, if you listen to this podcast, you still got the clubs. When you see a pretty girl and she dancing with somebody you don't like, you try to holler at her. Just give her the Zaza 2. Just give him the Zaza 2-step. You know what I mean? Injure his ankle. He be up out the club and you got your chance with the chick. The Zaza 2-step. Just remember that, man.
Yeah, whatever.
But it is what it is. We're at this moment that. Regardless of the fact, we're at this moment.
We ain't gonna mention the East?
Nah, man. Come on. Do we really?
The Wiz kids?
Nah, man.
Remember when the Wiz kids were supposed to get to the conference finals? Man?
Come on, man. We almost there, man.
Hold up.
What's up, man?
I think John Wall just bricked another shot, man.
On another note, man.
I think he just bricked another shot.
Well, we know
man. I think he just bricked another shot, man.
I knew Cleveland was going to take the East. I mean, most people predicted that, man. I mean, as long as LeBron's alive, the East is his. So
yeah, I mean,
as long as he's alive and healthy,
basically, man.
And
I think he go. I think LeBron could be in a walker and still beat half of these fucking bums in the East.
But I think all great players in their prime could have done this. I mean,
dog, LeBron could have tore his Achilles like Kobe.
Listen.
They still would have got through the fucking East.
No, they wouldn't have.
Yes, they would have.
You remember Cleveland before LeBron got there?
I remember. But
Okay, that's what
I'm saying. LeBron could have played with the torn Achilles. And still would have got through the conference.
See, this is the thing I have. This is the biggest problem I have when people say this about LeBron. Like of course, I'm a LeBron fan, and I'm a fan of greatness in general. I wasn't the biggest Kobe supporter, but I love watching Kobe play because he was great. Same thing with Mike, but people forget when Mike was in his prime, it was a lock that Chicago was going to the finals. Most people forget that. Like outside of them 2 years he retired, most people forget there was no parity in the East. To be honest, when Mike was in his prime, everybody knew Mike was walking to.
But there were better teams in the Eastern Conference.
There was. Regardless of how
we argue this every show, man.
So listen, but you knew at the end of the day that Mike was getting to the finals, right? Mike,
you had a good idea. You had a good idea.
Listen what I'm about to tell you.
You knew for a fact that Mike was getting to the finals in '93 when he went up against the Knicks. That's 60-win Knicks team.
Yes. So we forget the fact that Mike also had a team that went 72-10. Most people
nobody forgets that.
But now you hear people saying, because everybody has a platform, like we have a platform now, like we're part of it, anybody's and everybody's.
I know, right?
That you forget there was no parity when Michael Jordan was playing. When he got to the finals, you always knew Michael Jordan was going to win.
Okay.
Like no. People are forgetting that fact. Now I get it. It's out like Sports Nation's what's her name?
Michelle Beadle?
Yeah, Beadle. She said it best. I saw it. I was like, this totally makes sense. She's like, the reason why we don't the LeBron and Michael comparison and we won't anoint LeBron James is because Michael Jordan is our first love. Everybody, especially our generation. See, when you started watching basketball, of course you didn't like Michael because you're a Knicks fan.
But I always respect him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But when we started watching basketball, who was the first person that captivated us? Regardless, exactly.
Right, because I came in too late for Magic.
Exactly, me too.
I was at the end of Larry.
Yeah, me also. But I'm just saying, Mike captivated us.
Yeah. So
he's our first love.
I'm sure if you're like 10 years old, LeBron is like your fucking love.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I get it.
That's what I'm saying. We're in the stage where whenever someone competes to be that next level, to challenge our first love, we're always going to be
defensive. And
it's not as great as our first love. Our first love was better because our first love went through this, that, and the third. Like, no, just appreciate the moment. Appreciate the greatness that you're watching. That's all I say. Appreciate it. Because when it's gone and when he's away, then we're going to be like, damn, I wish we had LeBron. I wish we had that. Just like Kobe. A lot of people didn't appreciate the greatness of Kobe Jelly Bean Bryant. The Mamba. Now that he's gone, a lot of people was like, damn. At least if Kobe in his prime against this Golden State Warriors team he would have gave his best.
Here's my thing. Okay. Let's put this issue to bed finally.
It'll never be the bed between me and you.
No, but I'm saying this. I agree, and if y'all hear me fucking snickering over here because I'm fucking battling allergies, man.
No, you're not. So he's over here laughing.
Listen. I agree with you. This image that the NBA has always had parity is false. Yeah. I mean, the fact that two teams have won more than half of the fucking titles in league history, I get it. I understand that. But throughout its history, there's always been, you would agree, two big teams for the most part. Yeah. In one in each conference for the most part, right? Mm-hmm. There's been other teams, but there's always been at least another team or a second team that maybe wouldn't cast doubt, but would at least push that great team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no third team now. Well, there really isn't. But the Spurs are the closest thing to a third team, but nobody really believes in the Spurs because it's only Kawhi Leonard, Parker's old, Ginobili's on his last legs Duncan's gone. I think we've just put the Spurs there because of Popovich and his greatness and because of Leonard and his ascension to superstardom. So we put the Spurs there and that culture of winning. But there really is no third team. But honestly, even in the 90s, yes, there was no parity. There was parity to a certain extent. But there wasn't the level of parity like there is in Major League Baseball. But the NBA has always suffered that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But here's my thing, though. You always had other teams. Like take the 80s, for example. Who were the two big teams in the 80s? The Lakers and the Celtics.
Yeah.
But for one season, you have Philly.
Yeah.
That had a fucking juggernaut.
And then
Milwaukee had a squad for years.
And then at
like,
the end of the
you
year,
could conceivably make the case, like, if Boston had an injury or if Boston didn't play well, Milwaukee could have beat them on several occasions. Philly, before they got Moses, could have beat Boston in many of occasions. There was always that 1 or 2, 3 team.
A cast of doubt.
Yeah, like a cast of doubt.
But you can't.
Now, like, honestly, 2 years ago, LeBron lost his entire supporting cast, basically. And they still got to the finals.
Yeah, they almost won a championship.
Exactly. But what does that tell you about the level of competition?
It doesn't. It
tells me everything.
It doesn't.
It tells me that there's nobody, at least in the East, and this is where me and you disagree. Because while I will agree with you that the West is not as strong as it was, let's say in 2007, 2008, I would agree with you. It's not that. Mm-hmm. You don't have 8, 9 teams winning 50 games like you did in the West back in the day. I agree with you. But to me, the West, while it's top heavy, I agree with you now. It is top heavy. It's still better than the East. I mean, you have these fucking teams in the East that are just completely, they're not good teams. Like, let me ask y'all a question, yo. The Toronto Raptors. put Toronto in 1995's Eastern Conference. Toronto's barely a 7th seed. Yeah, let's be fucking real. Like, let's be real. Let's cut the bullshit. Like, you put Toronto in the East back in the day in 95 where you had the Knicks with Ewing still good.
It's a different game though. But it's not that much different. You want to tell me it's a whole lot different. Like, you want to tell me 2017 basketball is different than 1967? I would agree with you. But it's not that much different. You got to understand. Like, nowadays you sign players, you recruit players to adapt to this generation of basketball. Mm-hmm. Back then, these certain players wouldn't even be playing back in the 90s. Or certain players wouldn't be playing. But the overall. So you can't. That's what I always say. You can't retroactively say, hey, if you put this team in the 90s, how would they do? I can say the same thing. If you put those Knicks with that non-shooting outside of John Starks in this generation, like I said, you would pick and roll Patrick Ewing to death, which they didn't do in the 90s. You would spread the court, and you would force Patrick Ewing off the court eventually. Patrick Ewing wouldn't play 35 minutes in this league. Because you would run him up.
So you mean to tell me Patrick Ewing can't play in this era?
No.
You're fucking kidding me.
The big man can.
Listen, no. I believe the great player can play in any era. Like, you mean I do? I do.
No, I don't. I don't.
You mean to tell me Will Chamberlain can't play in this era?
No. What you're saying is this iconically legend. Will Chamberlain can play in any era. So
Patrick is a top 50 all time.
But you just compare this man to Will Chamberlain.
I get that. I didn't compare him, but I'm just using an example.
No, you can't.
Great players can play in any era.
So
like LeBron can play in the 1960s. I'm not a believer.
Legend, icon. Patrick Ewing, LeBron James.
Okay. To me, let's pick a name. All right. You mean to tell me that Patrick Ewing wouldn't play in this era?
He could, but I don't think he would be as dominant as he was in the 90s.
You're fucking crazy.
I don't think so.
Patrick would average 50 in this era.
Nah.
Who's guarding him? Who's
he guarding?
He might not be able to guard anybody. Who's guarding him?
But that's the point.
And people forget Patrick was a great defensive player.
But listen, I'm talking about.
You mean to tell me Patrick couldn't have adapted? If you drop Patrick Ewing into the NBA,
you don't know.
You're right. I don't know, but I have a strong opinion.
You know how many?
Like, do I know that Donald Trump colluded with Russia to win the election? I don't know, but I have a strong opinion. I have a strong inkling that he did.
What I'm saying is, how many 7-foot centers do we have now who can play strong defense and have an average to above average offensive game? It's a lot of them. It's a lot of big men out there who can do this.
Al Jefferson.
You have Clint Capella, even though his offensive game is nowhere near nowhere near Pat Ewing's offensive game. But you have all these guys, right? And these are athletic guys. Pat was a great defender, off-ball defender and on-ball defender against post players. Let's get this correct now, right? But he wasn't great with his lateral movement. Patrick Ewing wasn't in the high pick and roll. Like, they wouldn't high pick and roll in the shit out of Patrick Ewing back.
I get that.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't know. Your assumption in your analysis might be correct. I'm not.
But it all balances out.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Eventually,
because if Patrick Ewing was a 90,
because if Patrick Ewing was a 90, what you're saying.
But let me finish. If Patrick Ewing was a 90 defensively, right? In the 90s, if he was a 90 rating. And his offense was an 88, 90 rating in the 90s. Mm-hmm. I say, you're right, the defense would probably take a hit. He'll go down to maybe at 80. The 80, 75.
But nobody.
But his offense instantly becomes like what, 99?
But you don't know
because who's guarding him?
But you don't see. But
who's guarding him the most now?
See, this is what you don't know.
And people forget Patrick had a very good perimeter. He was actually one of the best shooting centers of all time.
Yes, but this is what you don't know. With the lack of defense, how much does he? Because remember, his defense is what made Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Because he was a Georgetown boy.
Yeah.
So his defense is what made him. So if you take away from that, you're taking away from his greatness.
Okay.
So that's all I'm saying.
But I can make the case that his defense would have gotten a little bit hurt. Like, do you really think DeAndre Jordan is guarding Patrick Ewing? No. Fuck no.
No, but DeAndre Jordan, you see DeAndre Jordan out here, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So that's what you want to compare Pat Ewing to.
Whatever. I've said it before.
I get it.
DeAndre Jordan is a better Stormont Swift.
Listen, man, I get it.
He just is.
I just don't like crossing arrows. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like you could. I feel like the only sport.
And then if you want to really bring parity, like if you really want to have the conversation about the '90s and how the '90s basketball was better, I have one thing to shut down everybody's argument. You remember Jordan left for 2 years. Well, he left for a year and a half because he came back, right? The Bulls still made the playoffs when Jordan left.
Because they had a good team.
No.
They still had a good team.
Forget what you're saying.
They had good players.
Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. So the Bulls still made the playoffs the year after MJ retired.
Yeah.
The greatest player to ever play the game.
Yes.
I said it. The GOAT, right?
Okay.
The GOAT. That's what I consider the GOAT.
I see where you're getting at. Okay.
So LeBron leaves Cleveland. He took them to the finals, then the Eastern Conference Championship against Boston. He lost against the Big Three, the original Big Three of this era. He lost against Boston. Most people claim LeBron started this I'm leaving, going somewhere.
No, not claim. He did.
But Boston had the Big Three before him. So, no.
So that's the same? That was the same.
So, are there 3 Hall of Famers?
But yes or no? The circumstances the same, though?
Yes or no?
Did KG force his way to Boston?
Kind of, sort of. He had a no trade clause.
But who the fuck would have turned down playing with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen?
Who would have turned down playing with D Wade and Chris Bosh?
Man, whatever.
Exactly.
He was a free agent and this was a trade.
So listen.
It's 2 different scenarios, man.
He wanted out. So listen. Either way, he goes to the Eastern Conference Finals, loses to Boston.
All right.
That same team he left won what? 17 games?
Now to be fair.
No.
But if you're gonna bring that up, bring the whole context into it.
Go ahead.
First of all,
go ahead.
That team had got rid of their coach. Say what you want about Mike Brown. Mike Brown's a better coach than Byron Scott.
Go ahead.
I would think.
Go ahead.
I would think most people would say that, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
You would say that, right?
Go ahead.
Would you agree that Mike Brown's not by much, but he's a better coach than Byron Scott, right?
No. I would not agree with that.
Okay, never mind.
But that's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, I wouldn't say
the coach
so.
was gone, right?
Okay.
And that team, let's be honest, and I'll even give this to LeBron. That team didn't nearly have the talent the Bulls did. And they didn't have Tony Kukoc.
And this is
did Kyrie Irving playing with Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen?
Then I totally agree.
Steve Kerr, was he playing with those guys?
I totally.
So the context is different.
I totally agree with you. And this is what this is where we have the argument about the GOAT status. This is where the legacy of the GOAT.
LeBron takes lesser teams and elevates them.
Okay,
that's your point.
No. My point is, because we're talking about parity, right? Mm-hmm. If you can take that team and it still reach the Eastern Conference Finals, mm-hmm. I mean, that Chicago team, and then the next year, even without Jordan, because he didn't play,
they get to a 7th game of a conference semi.
Exactly. Yes. And that's with Jordan on Russ coming back towards the end of that year.
No, that was '95 when they lost.
No, I'm talking about
you're talking about the '94 team
when they lost to Orlando.
Okay, you're talking about the '95.
So when he comes back,
yeah,
and because he came back towards the end of the year after like game 60 or some shit.
Yeah,
and then he comes and he plays in the playoffs and he's
45.
You can still see the Russ.
He dropped the double nickel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can see it. But that Chicago team was still legendary without Mike. And what I'm showing you is when we're talking about GOAT.
With Mike, that team was an all-time team.
Yeah,
without Mike, it was a good team.
But that's what I'm saying. So when you talk about parity, when you talk about legendary statuses, you can see how one person means so much to a team. Because you remember when Cleveland, when he left Cleveland, he went to Miami. Miami did they even make the playoffs that year?
They did, because they had to win.
They were 8 seed or something like that?
They were like a 7 to 6 seed.
So he gets there, they go to 4 straight finals. And what happens to Cleveland? And remember...
Miami, you mean?
No, when he's in Miami, what happens to Cleveland? 4 years.
Fall off the table.
Exactly.
But it was also poor management. Like you have to take. But this is the thing.
The poor management was there when LeBron was there.
You're right, but it enhanced when LeBron left. That's what I'm saying. Like you can't make this argument. I agree with you. LeBron is a great player. Nobody is discrediting that. His impact on the team is amazing. I get that. Nobody is discrediting that. But you can't just throw out the Cleveland example. Like, oh, Cleveland went to shit when he left, and then they're a powerhouse when he returned. I get all that. But let's be fair. When he left, they drafted Kyrie Irving. They fucking signed Andrew Bynum to a max contract. Andrew Bynum. Nobody in America would have given Andrew Bynum a max contract at that point.
All right, okay. Now, the management was still shit. I'm going to show you why.
It was worse.
I'm going to give you a perfect example.
It was worse.
I'm going to give you a perfect example. This is my example to tell you how no, it wasn't worse than this. Remember when LeBron was chasing the chip when they played San Antonio, right? In the finals, and they got swept by San Antonio.
Yes.
They had a chance that year, right? To sign Amari Stoudemire. And you know what the GM of Cleveland wouldn't do that year? They wanted to give up. They said, hey,
Booby
Phoenix,
Gibson?
no. They didn't even want Booby Gibson. They wanted J.J. Hickson.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
For
the immortal J.J. Hickson.
J.J. Hickson for Amari Stoudemire.
Yes.
Coming out of Phoenix, Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah.
And you know what they said? No. J.J. is too big of a piece to give up for Amari Stoudemire. But you want your prime player to stay, the savior of your city, to stay. But we won't give up. No, you don't. You want me to give up a 6'7" power forward who comes off the bench for a 6'10" all-star power forward? Nah, I can't do it because J.J. Hickson is going to be the future. And in whole future did you see J.J. Hickson being good? He's an underman power. The dude's 6'8". Yeah.
I feel you. I'm not just listen.
Amari Stoudemire was a 25-10 guy.
I get it. The only guy that I ever seen just destroy Tim Duncan in a fucking playoff.
And you seen it.
I get that.
And you can argue if he doesn't get suspended, they beat San Antonio.
Yes, I can argue if his knees don't fall apart. Amari goes out as one of the greatest power forwards ever.
Exactly.
I get all that. I'm not debating you.
You don't.
But what I'm saying is you have to. But would you admit? Jerry Krause over whoever was running the fucking.
Yes, no, we don't even have to.
I mean, would you debate that? Jerry Krause is a better GM than whoever was running fucking Cleveland back then.
We don't even have to talk about
exactly.
Yes.
So Chicago was in a better position. Like you have to bring that up. But now, if you want to tell me that Jordan leaves, they trade Kukoc, Steve Kerr never becomes Steve Kerr, and
they never get Derek Harper.
Scottie Pippen breaks a fucking knee. Then, of course they fall apart and become a fucking dreck. But they didn't do that. They still had the pieces. But I'm saying remnants of a very good team.
But we're talking about the parity. But what I'm saying is the NBA has, like you just said, the NBA has never had great parity.
No, they've never had parity.
And the same thing I'm saying. Like we immortalize that Chicago team.
I think they immortalized the era.
No, yeah, but we have to break down some things. Like we always say, Michael Jordan went through Detroit. We forget Isaiah was hurt by the time Mike became Mike. By the time Chicago started dominating the East, we forget.
But he was ready to win. No, he was ready to win though.
Isaiah had already won.
It was inevitable though. It was inevitable.
Hey, Isaiah was not here playing on one leg. We remember when he tore that Achilles playing against the Lakers in the finals. Let's be for real.
Ankle.
Or whatever it was.
Ankle.
Yeah, but we remember that.
I get it.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
So we remember Bird had the back problems by the time Mike ascended.
Yeah.
We remember Magic had HIV by the time Mike ascended.
Yeah.
See, so we always say, well, man, Mike had.
I mean, he wasn't burnt yet.
Listen,
he wasn't burnt yet.
Yeah, Magic was burnt, bro. Magic was burnt.
Oh yeah, Magic was. Yeah,
Magic was burnt. Because remember, Magic came out in '91.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Magic was burnt on.
That nigga had AIDS since '87.
Yeah, exactly.
At least since '87, though.
So we always say.
That nigga's blood was poisoned since '87.
We always say Mike had to go through all these great options. That Detroit team wasn't great by the time Mike beat it.
But it was still a very good team. It was still a championship level team.
But it wasn't great. It was because we remember.
They were the defending champions the next year. They were still the defending champions.
No,
Rick Mahorn was gone. Obviously, yes, I get that.
You had a one-legged Isaiah Thomas. You had the heart and soul Rick Mahorn gone. You had Lambert, who was
I can make the case that if you're gonna say the same thing about that, I can say the same thing that Boston was diminished by the time LeBron ascended.
No, he wasn't. Yes, he was though. They beat him the year before.
No, but I'm talking about in 2011, Boston was diminished. Ray Allen was on his last legs as a 30-minute a night starter.
So you gonna say that when in your whole claim to fame is he saved LeBron 2 years later?
He did save LeBron 2 years later.
Come on,
but he was a role player.
Come
ship has sailed.
No,
it did.
No, it wasn't.
It did.
And I can arguably say
Boston was on its way down. Didn't they trade Kendrick Perkins that same year?
I can arguably
Didn't they trade Kendrick Perkins that same year?
I can arguably
so that team already, that composition of that team already was over.
I can arguably say that when Ray Allen diminished, Rondo became better.
Rondo was already becoming better. Rondo was already there. He was already established.
He became better. So he replaced.
Outside of the first year when they won a championship, 09, 2007, and going forward, it became a big four.
Yeah, exactly.
But by 2011, Ray Allen was diminishing. KG was getting older. Pierce was getting older. Still good, but still older.
I'm not saying...
Like, they had traded Kendrick Perkins. Like, I can make the same case that you just made.
Now, what catastrophic injury had any of those had? Those
they didn't have a catastrophic injury, but they were diminished.
I'm showing you catastrophic injuries. I'm not talking about diminished in skill. I'm showing you injuries.
Also, the year that LeBron finally got to the first final with Miami, that was a lockout shortened season. Let's remember that.
What does that have to do?
Let's remember that. That throw. Like Shaq said, the Spurs' first championship don't count.
Come on, just because Shaq said it don't mean it's the truth.
Because some niggas won 40 games.
Yo, you seen Shaq's feet on TV. Just because he say something that ain't true, man. You seen them toes, man.
I feel you.
Man, say he don't get pedicures.
Those shits look like JPP's hand.
You gonna stop getting pedicures now?
It's burning. They do.
You had to throw that out here.
I had to.
It's burnt up.
It's burnt up.
Get it right?
Get it right.
But no, all I'm saying is that parity has never been there. That's all I'm saying. That like everybody's saying it.
Like, I agree with you.
Yeah, I get it.
But when you make these arguments like, oh, the '90s are overrated.
No, I've never said. I don't think any generation is overrated. You have it completely wrong here. I don't think any generation is overrated. I think. Like I don't think I like every era. Like I mean, I don't say any. I don't de-emphasize any era. I don't say any era was greater than the other era. I just say in that moment you get what you get. So that's all I'm saying with this era. So many people want to say, well, the '90s was better. Well, let this era play out. Let's stop judging it while it's still in effect. That's like me judging your life and it's not complete.
It's not complete.
You know.
Yeah.
You know how many people turn their lives around when they turn 40, 50, 60 years old?
Yeah, Tiger has it.
No, yeah, exactly. You see the downfall?
Look at him.
Shout out to my man Elric. I don't even call him what you just called him.
Elric.
Yeah, he ain't that other that animal that be at the zoo and shit with the stripes. He ain't him no more. He's Elric. But that's all I'm saying, man. Let the era play out, man. I think the '90s basketball is my favorite. You know, I still watch old '90s clips. However, let's embrace them. Let's live in the moment. Let's enjoy this.
I feel you.
This is the first time ever you had back NBA championship series. Same teams.
But will you admit that the era is diminished because the league is at its worst it's been in a long time?
The era isn't over.
Yes, it's diminished.
It's not over.
It's 7 years in. This decade is the worst I've ever seen in the NBA.
No,
I mean, of course, I don't go back to the 70s when niggas was getting coked up.
You just
I understand that.
All you're saying is when you watch basketball from '90s to the 2000s, right? That from the '90s to the 2000s. That was better.
Would you agree that it was a more competitive league?
To you, though.
Was it not a more competitive league? Okay, you want to say that parity wasn't there as far as on a championship level?
Yeah,
I agree with you.
That's bigger than
was
basketball.
it not a competitive? Was it not a more competitive league?
That's bigger than basketball, though. That's like we had this conversation last week. That's just bigger than just the game that's on the court. It's the nostalgia of basketball is better than. Like we talked about, we talked about the announcers. We talked about the games playing on prime time.
The overall presentation.
Just think about it now. Remember when you were little? Sunday, the game used to come on at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and you used to sit back. You used to wait till Marv Howard comes on. And you used to watch that game. It could be the Knicks and the Pacers. It could be. I'm a Wizards fan. Back then, I was a Bullets fan, and I used to watch the Knicks and Pacers game, a regular season game, and used to get chill bumps. They don't have that anymore.
They don't have it.
On Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time.
The Clippers and the Jazz just don't quite do it for you.
But they're playing there's even no game on NBC.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because they're not on NBC anymore. But I'm just saying.
So
that's when the NBA first started to fuck up. When they left NBC.
Yeah, exactly. So it's about everything has gone down in a way. So you can't just blame it on the actual product that you see on the court. You're not even seeing the product anymore. Like
I get that.
How many Cleveland games have you watched this year?
5.
Exactly. So, and Cleveland is the second biggest story. How many Golden State games have you watched? But if this was in the '90s, When Cleveland and Golden State played, when it was a supposed to be tough game, they would have built up a rivalry between Cleveland and Chicago. Yeah. Or because, LeBron James and D-Wade. And it'd been a nice game on a Sunday. At 1 o'clock, we're going to watch D-Wade fight his nemesis, LeBron James. Yeah. Once called friends.
But that's the era being different. Like, and you're right. It's bigger than just the overall action on the court. Yeah. It's everything. The presentation. The whole entire NBA landscape as a whole is different. I get that. So that's why, I feel like it diminishes everything. Like, if everything is diminished, the product is diminished.
I don't think so.
The product is diminished.
I think it's just different. I just think it's different. And we have to... I understand what
we got to move on, but I disagree, man. I just think the product is diminished overall. So, and I mean, look, this is not to take away from LeBron's achievement. I mean, getting to 7 straight finals is an achievement. But we all, I always say this, I'm a big believer in you have to apply context to everything that you're saying. Like, if I'm going to sit there, and if you're going to criticize, or you're going to say, the NBA's never had parity. You're right. But I can also say that the NBA was much more competitive every era. Like, even, forget the 90s. Hell, the 2000s were more competitive.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
We're not?
No. There's no time I ever thought, I'm going to be honest with you. Even when the Lakers lost to Detroit when they shouldn't have, there's no time. Because remember in the early 2000s basketball, we're talking about diminishing. You remember the early after MJ retired. Do you remember
a couple years there?
No. Don't you?
It was a couple years there.
Don't you?
But the NBA was still better than this.
Don't you do this.
The NBA was still better than this now.
Are you serious?
It was not? So it isn't?
It was not.
So it wasn't?
It was not.
Okay. You're crazy.
It was not.
You crazy as hell.
It was... We're talking about the second retirement of Jordan.
Yes.
Before he came back for the Wizards.
99 to about 2003.
Are you sure? Are you serious? That NBA was better than this NBA. Yeah. Yo, you done bumped your fucking head. Yo, you done slipped, fell, and bumped your motherfucking head.
I'm wrong.
You're totally wrong.
So how am I wrong?
You remember Allen Iverson took that bum-ass Philly team to the finals? Yo, you talking about parity.
And that East is still better than this East.
Listen what I'm telling you.
That East is still better than this East.
That Philly team beats this Cleveland.
It doesn't beat this Cleveland, but it beats Boston.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it fucking does.
No, it doesn't.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Isaiah Thomas and Allen Iverson was the same player.
Come on, dog. That's disrespectful now. Come on,
the year Isaiah Thomas just put together.
He had it for 1 year. I love Isaiah Thomas. I like the kid. He's a very good player.
I'm just stacking this 1 year. We're just talking about
Allen Iverson and Isaiah Thomas. Come on now, dog. That's disrespectful.
I'm not saying legacy wise. Now, clearly, I'm a Bubba Chuck fan. I don't even call him AI. Bubba Chuck. From the hood, brother. All I'm saying is, this year Isaiah Thomas had
it's comparable, yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I get that.
So I don't know. Because that Philly team was terrible.
That Philly team was terrible. Bro, that Philly team against the Toronto Raptors with gay-ass Drake on the sideline.
I don't know.
And Kyle Lowry's anxiety issues. Get the fuck out of here.
Are you serious?
Get the hell out of here.
You talking about
that Toronto, the 2001 Toronto team? You know, the Game 7 where Vince Carter decided to go graduate from that bum-ass university? That Toronto team would have beat this Toronto team.
Crazy.
Get the hell out of here, man.
You're talking about that Philly team with Eric Snow? The guy who couldn't hit a 15-foot jump shot?
I don't give a damn. I don't care. Yes. That Philly team
who best player outside of Allen Iverson was Aaron McKee? That's what you talking about?
Was my boy Lynch? Yes, that Philly team. Yes, that Philly team.
Are you serious?
So you gonna tell me that Milwaukee Bucks team with the big three, Glenn Robinson, Sam Cassell, and Ray Allen, that team would have waxed.
You don't know though. You don't know because Glenn Robinson couldn't get his shit together, and Ray Allen and Jesus wasn't a savior yet. Like he was getting buckets.
No, Jesus was that nigga though.
Yeah, but he didn't know what he was doing.
In Milwaukee, Jesus was that nigga.
Shuttlesworth.
That's the best. Well, nah.
Seattle. Yeah, I'm about to say
Seattle. He was that nigga too, though. But in Milwaukee, though, that was the original Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I'm not gonna argue with you about
Seattle was Jesus Shuttlesworth 2.0, but 1.0, nigga.
I'm not gonna argue with you there. But they were young outside of Sam Cassell.
They were young. Yeah, you're right.
Sam Cassell was older, but Ray Allen was still. Listen, man, I just want to get my buckets. You know, I just want to score 30 on
George Karl, but that was a good team. No, it wasn't a great team, but it was a good team.
George Karl is the modern day Mike, the throwback Mike D'Antoni, man. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, man. So
you're right.
So,
but I still believe that era was a little. Now, I'm not saying that era was great. As evidenced by the Lakers running through that fucking the NBA. But that NBA was still a lot more competitive than this shit. Like I can't watch this shit. Like I didn't watch a single minute, and I feel bad saying this because I'm a sports broadcaster. I didn't watch not of the playoffs. I watched some of it, but
the regular.
I didn't watch a single minute of that Toronto Cleveland series, and I already knew by game one the Cleveland was going to.
This is where I agree with you. This is where I agree with you and I disagree with you because it's just this year. Like it's been
like this for the last couple years.
So listen,
let's be honest. So this even when LeBron was in Miami, it was never this bad. No,
this is what I'm saying. Because you just said it in the beginning. You said parity was always because you had two great teams, and then you had a third team that always pushed them.
Yes.
Now
a third or a fourth team.
Yeah. So you just remember last year, OKC pushed Golden State to Game 7.
Okay. Cleveland had nobody to push.
We can argue that. When Miami played OKC in that finals when James Harden was still with OKC, we thought that OKC's team was going to be this Golden State team.
They were, and they should have.
They were on pace,
and they should have been
until they broke everything up. Until they sent James Harden.
They said they traded
like $3 million or some dumb shit,
and because he couldn't play with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, well, no, that wasn't it. That was
going to be it eventually.
No, it wasn't.
Because Russell Westbrook can't play with other great players.
No, come on, man.
But let's not. He's been out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
he's been out of the playoffs.
So, and then it didn't change.
And James Harden didn't bother showing up.
It didn't change until KD goes to Golden State.
No, to me it really got bad since LeBron got to Cleveland.
Nah, man.
And it was
since he got drafted?
No, since he got to Cleveland. Since he got to Cleveland the second time.
Oh,
because even when he was in Miami, like Miami was the team, but you still had a Chicago that. Even if Indiana was at its peak. Chicago before Derrick Rose knees just tapped out. Like you still had some
even though
Boston, the last little remnants of Boston was still there. Like now you have nothing.
I hear what you're saying.
You have nothing.
I hear what you're saying, but this has just started within the last year or two. LeBron's only been in Cleveland.
This is the third year.
Yeah. So I understand the pain that you have. That's what I want to say.
I can't watch this.
I understand it, man. But I'm saying let's not blame it on a certain player or a certain.
I'm not blaming it on a certain. I'm not blaming it on LeBron.
And I've proven
to you. But LeBron is a victim of this era. It's like when everybody says that Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer ever.
He is.
He's not.
Yep.
We're not even going to.
49-0.
We're not even going to get. Okay. Because Muhammad Ali was just chump change.
Oh, okay. I didn't say he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's okay to be number 2.
No, nigga, get the fuck out of here. We're not even going to get into this argument. But
hey man,
if you're gonna give
Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer of all time.
Yes.
I think Larry Holmes would differ.
Really? Hey man. Really?
Listen,
when he had already Parkinson's disease by that point.
Listen, what I tell you, man.
Come on, man. Take that shit back, man.
No,
I take that shit back, man.
Did I tell him to start?
Take that shit back, man. You're really gonna get away with saying that?
I'm trying to get.
You're really gonna get away with saying that?
I'm trying to get a little shaking in the glove.
Get the fuck out of here.
All I'm saying is
you really gonna get away with saying that?
All I'm saying is I deal in facts.
Okay.
I don't deal in emotion.
Okay. Alternative facts.
No,
Sean Spicer.
Facts. No. Do I think Muhammad Ali was a better boxer than Floyd Mayweather? Honestly, yes, of course. But I can also say Joe Louis was a greater boxer than Muhammad Ali.
You can make that case.
But people will say Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time.
Boxing is difficult because boxing is a very subjective sport in the way you analyze it.
Some people can say Floyd Mayweather was a better boxer than Muhammad Ali. And you can't argue it. Like you can say
I disagree because I would never compare a heavyweight to a lightweight.
Yeah, but some people do.
I don't.
You just did it. I
don't.
If I argue,
I don't even think Floyd Mayweather's the best middleweight, lightweight, welterweight, whatever you want to compare, whatever you want to categorize him, because he's been all three for the most part.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even think he's the best in his own division.
Okay, you can.
I would still take the Three Kings over him.
Yeah,
that's me.
And I don't say you can't. I'm not saying you don't, but I can also point out. I can also point out phases in those three guys. Mm-hmm. The Sugar Ray Leonards, the Marvin Haglers. Mm-hmm. I can point out instances in their career where they weren't so great.
You're right.
And I can point out contenders now that will survive back then. That Floyd Mayweather said.
Who's that?
Hey, I'm talking about the Miguel Cottos of the world.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Manny Pacquiao of the world. You know what I mean?
I'm a team Pac.
Yeah, exactly.
I get you.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you're gonna say that,
and let's not forget,
Zab was the difference a little bit.
Yeah, and
he just lost his focus.
No, and let's forget when Floyd made him lose that focus. Because if you really, and I'm a boxing aficionado, if you watch that Floyd Mayweather and that Zab Judah fight. Jab was whooping Floyd's ass in the first 4 or 5 rounds. Yeah. He was beating the dog shit out of Floyd. until the corner and that altercation happened.
Yeah.
And Floyd zoned in. So Zach was that nigga. Like until Floyd fucked his life up.
And then it just fell apart for him.
Well, Floyd fucked his wife up. That's what happened.
Hey man, listen. I will look. I'm not gonna debate that Floyd Mayweather is a great boxer. Well, I don't even. We'll talk about that for another day. Yeah. We'll talk about that for another day. I fucking lost my train of thought.
Let's get to the previews of the finals.
Yeah, let's get to the previews.
What do you see happening between Golden State and Cleveland?
Well,
what are your key factors?
I think.
And who do you have?
Two X factors for both teams. I think obviously the great players are going to do what the great players do. I think Kyrie's going to have a big series. I think LeBron's going to do what LeBron does. Obviously, I think Durant's going to be Durant. Because I think let's say this. I think there's a lot of pressure on Durant. This is what Durant wanted now.
Yeah.
So if Kevin Durant better go out there, I expect nothing less than 28, 8, and 3 and 4.
Okay.
Like that's what I want from Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Like this is what you wanted. Did you sign with Golden State? You wrote your little soliloquy on the Players Tribune. You walking through a forest and you bumped into the Golden Gate Bridge. Like this is what you wrote. This is what you wanted. Okay, Durant, go out there and get it.
Okay. Because
the last time you came up against LeBron in the finals, you nutted up.
Yeah.
In front of the whole world.
Okay.
So KD better have a dominant series.
Okay.
And the next guy who's on the list that has a lot of pressure on him is Steph Curry.
Okay.
Now, I love the way Steph has played in these playoffs. He's been aggressive. He's taking it to the rack. He's doing everything that he needs to do. Close the deal, Steph.
Okay.
And you know Steph is my nigga, but he's got to close the deal.
Okay.
This is your finals now, Steph. You got to avenge the last two finals where you've been severely outplayed.
Okay.
The pressure's on them.
And
but now my X factor. For Golden State, my X factor is going to be, and believe it or not, my X factor is going to be JaVale McGee.
I knew you was gonna say that. I was leaning towards that too, but go ahead.
JaVale McGee?
Yeah.
If JaVale McGee
plays, shows up,
If JaVale McGee shows up, because people tend to laugh, he's become a laughing stock. But JaVale McGee's a nice player.
He can hoop.
He's a nice player.
I mean, fuck JaVale McGee because he was a wizard and he fucked our lives up because he never filled out to the potential we thought he was going to have.
But JaVale McGee is a very nice player. And he has the potential to impact a lot, especially in a good situation like he's in. JaVale McGee has a chance to be a very impactful player. And if JaVale McGee shows up and nobody's asking JaVale McGee to fucking average 15 and 12. No, that's not JaVale McGee. But if JaVale McGee can have an impact, can match Tristan Thompson,
can
and can be a good yin to Zaza's yang, or however you want to frame that. I think he's an X factor. To me, another X factor is Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Klay Thompson is another X factor in the series. Clay's quietly had a tough postseason. He really had. He's the one that's really. He's the one that's really sacrificed this game.
For the big
four. It surprised me because I felt like this was the perfect role for him. Because I like Klay, and I think he's a great player. Because I think he's a two-way player. But I think this is the perfect role for him. He doesn't have to be the number 2. He doesn't even really have to be the number 3. Well, he has to be the number 3. But he could kind of be the defensive stopper and the guy that just gets open shots. If he can be that in this series, he's an X factor.
But that's the problem. He's a volume shooter at times.
At times he's a volume shooter.
If you don't get him to touch, he ain't gonna have rhythm. So I get it. But
the thing with Klay, and it's a lot like Steph, they fall in love with their jump shot too much.
Well, that's
like they don't try to do. But yeah, it's a jump shooter. But sometimes you gotta adjust. When the shot is not falling, do other things. And Klay's capable of doing other things. You're fucking 6'7". You're able to take it to the rack. Draw. You're automatic from the line. So take it to the basket a couple times. So I feel like Klay's an X factor. I feel like JaVale McGee. If I had to number it, I would say number 1 is Klay. If Klay shows up and has a very good final, I'm not saying he has to go out there and average 29. If he averages 29 with whatever Curry and Durant gonna give you, I mean shit. I mean it's gonna be fucking lights out. And who I think is gonna have a monster series, I think Draymond Green is gonna have a monster series. I really believe that.
Okay.
I really believe Draymond's gonna have a fucking. To me, he's my early pick for me to MVP of this series.
So and then
because I think Draymond has been chomping at the bit because he feels like I think he honestly feels like I cost my fucking team a championship.
Well, I don't think it's that far.
I think he feels that way.
I think Draymond is built for the finals.
I think he's built for the finals, but I also think he feels like, yo, if I hadn't done this stupid ass shit that I did and got suspended, even though LeBron snitched on him, he did. The nigga ratted.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell him keep his hands and feet away from the generaries, man.
He talked about my mom and
come on, man. All right, man. Come on.
Whatever,
So what are your predictions?
But I will say Golden State in 5. I think like everybody's. Well, a lot of people picking Cleveland in 7. A lot of experts that I read, they picking Cleveland in 7. But I think Golden State's just too much.
Okay.
I think they have too much. Like, and if everybody plays the way that they're supposed to play, I just can't see. Because let's be honest, Cleveland got very lucky to win that series last year.
And you can say,
let's be fair.
Lucky 2 years.
Okay, they did. But right, absolutely.
Let's not go past. I understand your predictions.
I will say Golden State in 5. I think.
Okay.
Obviously, I think Golden State goes back to Cleveland up 2-0. Mm-hmm. And then I think Cleveland wins the third game. I think Golden State steals game 4. Mm-hmm. And I think game 5, I think Golden State will go out there and make it a mission to not even give them a fucking sense of hope that this shit is going back to Cleveland.
I got you.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be... I think LeBron will have his usual impact. I feel like Kyrie will be great, but I don't see Kevin Love having the same playoff impact that he's had up to this point. Mm-hmm. So that's just what I feel. Now, X factor for Cleveland, to me, is Kevin Love.
Okay.
Because when that quietly is kept, when that series really started to turn for Cleveland,
is when they put Kevin Love on the bench.
Yep. Okay. But Kevin Love played well though. Mm-hmm. He gave them something. So if Kevin Love can continue to play the way he's been playing, he's always been their X factor. Mm-hmm. Like, if he performs like he's a big 3, then Cleveland's got a chance. But that's a big if.
Yeah.
That's a big if. So, I think Curry's going to have a good series, like I said. I think Durant's going to have... This is his series.
Yeah.
Like, this shit's got to be Akeem in 95 against David Robinson. Like, this is that level.
No.
Like, the pressure's on Durant now. Because this is what you wanted.
He ain't that good.
I'm not saying it's not about whether he's that good or he's.
I don't think KD got that in his bag. I don't think he got that Hakeem.
Well, we shall see.
Dream shape.
We shall see.
I'm running through the West.
We shall see.
Because you ain't give me the MVP.
We shall see. Like, Mister, I've been second all my life. Well, now you have a chance to beat the big dog in the yard. Yeah.
You got a chance to beat that St. Bernard. So to go off topic a little bit, do you remember, I remember Kenny Smith telling a story about that Hakeem 95 when he played San Antonio. And he was like, Hakeem comes to him before game.
Yeah, Hakeem was never.
He was like,
yeah.
Yo, he's holding my MVP trophy. Like, what? It's like, they gave him my trophy. I'm going to make him pay. Like, what? Like, yo, David Robinson arguably was the best big man in basketball at that time. Yeah. And Hakeem destroyed him. Like, made him look like he wasn't even supposed to be on the basketball court. Like, hey, man, I don't know why they call you the Admiral, man. Like, I'm finna give you this 35 right quick. This 35 and 15. Yeah. Man, but all right. On to my predictions, man. I should say, what did you go with first? Your
X Factors.
Oh, well, before the X Factors, what I think is significant in this series. Of course, like you just said, the caveat off you said, LeBron's going to be LeBron. LeBron is who he is at this point. He's comfortable in his own skin, so I don't see that Dallas Mavericks debacle happening this finals appearance.
I would hope.
I think LeBron, he's primed for this moment. So I see the regular LeBron. I see the great LeBron who we've seen in the playoffs all year this year. Kyrie's going to be Kyrie. Hopefully they get the Kyrie that showed up these last couple of games, and not the Kyrie that showed up.
Not the Kyrie that's been in the playoffs the last.
Yeah, before these last 2.5 games, we need the last 2.5 game Kyrie, and have Kevin Love shows up. He shows up. I think Curry's going to be Curry to an extent. I think this series is built for Draymond Green, the physicality. This is what Draymond was built for. Yeah. Draymond Green is going to be like, this is what he was built for, playoff basketball. Draymond Green is the big dog in the yard when he gets on the court with playoff physicality that it's 90s basketball now. Once you hit the playoffs,
he's their ultimate expert.
And this is where Draymond shows up. This is where he loves it. He loves the light. Most people forget he had 35 and 10. Game 7, right? He was the only Golden State Warrior that showed up in Game 7.
Yeah, sure.
So I expect Draymond to be Draymond in this series.
I'm gonna go on record and say if outside of Durant has a fucking monster series.
I think if Golden State wins the series, I think personally, I also agree with you. That's why I said I agree with you. That I think Draymond wins the MVP just because of the intensity he brings to the game. However, I don't love Kevin Durant. We all know that, but I don't see Kevin Durant getting 28 and 10, 28 and 8. If it is, it's a quiet 28 and 8. I've seen Kevin Durant play against great players, two-way players. And you forget that game 1 when they played against San Antonio. Before Kawhi goes down, Kevin Durant was like 3 of 12 or some shit. And then once Kawhi Leonard goes down in the third quarter, here comes Superman Kevin Durant. Because you got a 6'5" guard guarding you nowadays. So.
Yeah, and you fucking 7 foot.
Yeah, so
use this nigga.
and then you have to play both ways. Because Kevin Durant's not going to get any lax time on defense guarding LeBron James. Because he's going to come downhill every play at you. So, with that being said, I don't see him going 28 and 8. And if he does, good for him, but I don't see it. My X factors. Back to my X factors. I see on Cleveland, of course, Kevin Love. Kevin Love has to have a big series, but my X factor really is Darren Williams. I think once Cleveland starting 5 and Golden State starting 5 match up very well against each other. I think I'll give Cleveland the edge with their starting 5. However, I think when you go to the
starting
bench,
5,
yes.
Seriously?
I'm going to tell you why. Let me get to my point. Because I think LeBron evens it out. I think I think at a point Kyrie and let's say Kyrie and Steph, right? I believe Kyrie's a better player than Steph Curry. Most people won't. I
think it's closer than what most people are gonna admit.
Yeah. So and then when you have the best player on the planet, there's not an arguably. When you have the best player on the planet, he trumps a lot of other things. So LeBron James is better than Kevin Durant. There's no argument with this.
Okay.
When LeBron James is on the court, he's the best player on the court. So that's what I say. But when you go to the bench, beginning of the second quarter, end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, Darren Williams has to lead that team. I think that's why LeBron, at the beginning of the season when we argued about it, or the middle of the season when LeBron was asking for help, this is what he was asking for help for. Yeah. With demanding.
Asking?
Demanding. We could say demanding.
I wouldn't even say demand. When he was crying for help?
So listen, all right.
Like he was a lost child.
Call it what you want.
In fucking Chicago or something, in bad neighborhood Chicago, asking for help?
When you couldn't see it, when I told you way back when, this is why he needed a ball handler. And you was like, LeBron is supposed to be everything. Well, he ain't playing 48 minutes. That's the thing. And when he goes to the bench, he sees the flaws in the team. And this is what Darren Williams, this is what the extra ball handler was brought in for. This is what they were brought in. I
can't trust no nigga that draws a hairline.
So listen.
I can't trust no nigga that does the Carlos Boozer, dog.
So listen, all right, man.
You trusted a nigga that is willing to go to the extent of drawing to paint hair on his head. So I can't trust you.
You trust LeBron? He drew his in for a minute too.
He surgically added his shit. At least he had the fucking. It's still hair.
It's from his ass though. But anyway,
I get
that ass hair. I get it. So, but that's my X factor. Darren Williams is my X factor.
I feel you, yeah.
And my X factor in Golden State, I was leaning towards JaVale McGee, but since you snatched JaVale McGee up, my X factor for Golden State is Sean Livingston. I've been thinking about this for a while. 2 years ago, most people didn't want to admit it, but 2 years ago when Golden State beat Cleveland in the finals, it wasn't because of Clay, it wasn't because of Steph.
It's Iguodala and Livingston.
Exactly. And what Livingston did the same thing. He did it to Dellavedova 2 years ago. Put him in the post, turned around for that 12 to 13 foot jump shot, just turned over him with that 6'7" body, and it shot over top of him. So it depends what Sean Livingston shows up. That's my X factor. As far as predictions, I have Cleveland.
Of course you do.
Of
course you do.
Unlike you,
what a surprise!
Unlike you, I got Cleveland in 6. Maybe 7. If it goes 7, I got Cleveland 7. But I have them in 6. I have Cleveland in 6. 4-2 Cleveland. I actually have Golden State taking game 1, losing game 2. Then losing game 3.
Okay.
Then I have Golden State winning game 4 in Cleveland. 2-2. Go back to Golden State. Then I have Golden State losing game 5. And then they go back to Cleveland and lose game 6. So, I got it in 6. Cleveland. MVP, of course, LeBron James. I think, and the reason why I think, because the playoffs especially finals, they get so physical. And I feel as though Clay Steph. You seen it 2 years
They
ago?
don't have the physicality.
At all. And we're talking about crybabies. I'm tired of people giving Golden State the pass. If you watch them last two finals, go back and watch. And when people call LeBron a crybaby, and when Clay said,
he is a fucking crybaby.
When Clay said, the best player in the game is getting in his feelings, right?
He is.
But you didn't see everybody. You don't see Iguodala crying after every call. Oh, we give him a pass because he's not LeBron.
Yeah.
Or you see Steph Curry crying after every call. Oh, we give him a pass because he's not LeBron James. And Klay Thompson, the same thing. So I think the game's going to get so physical. 90s basketball. He's starting hip check now. He's starting hand guard a little bit. That 30-foot jump shot ain't the same in the fourth quarter because they pressing you. And they bumping you. They scrapping for everything. Yeah. You know that jump shot you turn around and walk to, you ain't doing that no more in the finals. So that's why I got Cleveland in 6, man. Book it here, man. Cleveland in 6.
Cleveland in 6, man.
Yeah, man.
I will say this, because I said it last week. This series better deliver.
Oh, yeah. Or the NBA.
I don't think it will deliver. I'll go on the record and say I do not think this series will be as good or as captivating as the last two have been. It's law of averages is going to tell you that this series is going to disappoint.
Okay.
Because the last two, the first one was really good.
The first one was alright.
The first one was good because LeBron was just
was just carrying shit, yeah.
And then the second one, it got good after Game 4 because people forget.
Yeah, exactly.
People forget.
Yeah, it was a
people forget. It was a fucking snore fest for the first 4 games.
Yeah,
let's not forget that. Now Game 5, 6, and 7 is where it turned up the heat. So I can make the case that the second one was a little overrated.
Yes.
I don't think this series will be a good series.
It didn't get good to Cleveland start winning.
I don't believe this series will be a good series.
Well, I think
that when I'm a big believer in momentum and law of averages. Mm-hmm. And law of averages will tell you when you built up this mythical series basically for the last calendar year, since last June basically. Mm-hmm. When last July 4th when Durant signed with fucking Golden State, this was already in the cards. Mm-hmm. So like all the bullshit 82 games that we went through, like, it means nothing now. Everybody just ignored that, like, okay, this is what we want. Let's get to the main event. Let's get to the main course. That's bound to disappoint. Like, it's bound to I don't think it's going to be a good series. And the NBA better hope it is. Because Adam Silver was making the radio rounds today, basically trying to defend, the NBA, the resting issue, all that other bullshit. Adam, you need a good series, brother. You need not a good series, a great series. You better have 7. Yeah. I will even make the case 6 is disappointing. You better have 7 exhilarating, nip and tuck, drag out wars. Because if you don't, you got a lot of explaining to do on what the fucking fate of this league is right now. Because this shit is, as a paying consumer, buying the NBA League Pass, buying jerseys, supporting my Lakers and Knicks. Like, as a paying consumer, I can say this. This is unacceptable. Horrific fucking playoff basketball is this is the worst playoffs I've seen in my lifetime. No, I cannot remember me ever skipping playoff games. Like, I literally this year, I watched every show imaginable other than watching a fucking playoff game.
I get it, man.
I never in my life, even when and I know when people will say, oh, well, your Lakers ain't good, that's why you don't want to watch the playoffs. No, because I remember when the Lakers sucked for a few years in the mid-2000s, and I watched the fucking playoffs. Dirk fucking destroying Phoenix for 50. I remember all that. The Heat and the Pistons having a good 7-game series. I remember all this shit. So, this is the worst playoff series, the set of playoff basketball that I've ever seen. It's not even close. Not even close. You can't even argue. You can't even defend it. I don't care if you're an NBA groupie and you just defend and do everything NBA. Everything NBA is pom-poms up. You can't defend this shit. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And let me put this myth to rest now. This that there's no pressure on LeBron. LeBron is, because this is the one thing that pisses me off about LeBron. People like to make a lot of excuses to defend LeBron or to deflect heat or blame from LeBron. Like, oh, you can't really blame him. The only finals I don't really put on him is the first one.
Yeah, San Antonio.
He was fucking 20 playing against grown men.
Yeah, I agree.
In the finals. Like, even I have to give him a break on that.
Okay.
I'm definitely not giving him a pass in 2011.
Yeah, the Miami, I mean, the Dallas.
And a lot of people give him a pass for 2013 against the Spurs. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't. Because I can make the case that LeBron was at his peak at that level.
I don't agree. I
don't agree with giving players pass.
I don't agree with any of that. But
you know there's a lot of people that do. The Lee Jenkins of the world, the LeBron groupies out there.
I don't agree with if you make it there and you're playing. I don't even give him a pass for the San Antonio series. You got there, you should have won. If you playing, you should have won. Now, granted, you didn't morph into like you weren't yet at your peak. So when you went up, you took.
But even then, anybody with a brain realized that Cleveland team had no fucking business being in the finals.
Exactly. Even though they won 60 plus games that year, they shouldn't even won those games. Fuck. But I agree with you, and then I agree with you. Like I think, like people saying, there's no pressure. There's always pressure when you're the best player in basketball in any sport.
Yeah.
No matter what. Sidney Crosby's facing some pressure against Nashville. You know, he's the best player in the sport at the moment. Mm-hmm. They won 4-1 by the way. So I mean, every great player has this pressure. Now, you can argue that the pressure probably diminishes a little because of the juggernaut you're facing.
Yeah.
Or diminishes a little because the odds aren't in your favor. But needless to the point, it's still pressure.
Yeah,
like,
it's pressure.
At this point,
absolutely.
At this point, you're chasing, like he said, his words, not mine, he's chasing the ghost. You know, I'm chasing the legend that's no longer playing the sport anymore. You know, I'm not chasing these mere mortals in the game right now. I'm not chasing Kevin Durant. You know, Kevin Durant's chasing me. You know, it's hard. Like when if you're a runner and you're the leader of the pack, you're not chasing. You know, Tyson Gay. You ain't chasing Tyson Gay, motherfucker. Usain Bolt ain't chasing Tyson Gay when he's out there running. Mm-hmm. He's out there chasing Michael Johnson. You know, so Usain Bolt went out there chasing Tyson Gay. Tyson Gay was chasing Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt was chasing the history books. That's what he was chasing. The same thing with LeBron James. He isn't chasing the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people are getting at. He's not chasing Steph Curry. He's not chasing Draymond Green. He isn't chasing Klay Thompson. He's chasing something he probably will never obtain. Yeah. To be honest. He's chasing a god.
Yeah.
You know, it's Hercules. You chasing Zeus, man. You ain't out here facing these mere mortals, man. Yeah. We don't really care what you do against these guys. Like, if you lose, it makes you a better sport.
And I'm glad you're saying that because I've been reading today, there's no pressure on LeBron.
No, there's always no pressure.
They're a 19-point underdog in Vegas, so this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. When you're the best player on the planet, there's always pressure. Inherently, there's going to be pressure on you. Like, I don't buy that.
Yeah. Every day is pressure. When you wake up, if you do something wrong.
I think I make the case that Cleveland should be the favorite because they have the best player.
Yeah, you could. I'm not saying you can't, but when I totally.
So I don't. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just prefacing this. When this series is over, whatever outcome happens, if they lose, I don't want to hear that. LeBron was playing. We can't really blame that on LeBron. He's playing against 4 All-Stars and blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, he's still.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, he's still off. You're exactly right. I mean, but you have to also
because if we're gonna rip Golden State for flopping again,
but we're not. That's the thing. Like honestly. Just like last year.
Last year they got the heat.
Last
year they got the heat.
They really did.
They got the heat. No. Now I gotta disagree with you. Last year they got the heat.
No. It depends.
They became a universal fucking laughing stock. Before the Falcons left them off. Okay. Because now before the Falcons left them off, the Falcons. By the way, the Falcons will never recover from that. I've already said that. Like you can never recover from 28-3 down in the Super Bowl.
Well, you can.
That you just like I said it. We said it during our Super Bowl shows. The only way the Falcons recover is if they get to the Super Bowl and win. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. You can. So yeah, but I agree with you on the premise.
Golden State got heat last year. I have to say.
I agree with you on the premises that LeBron has pressure, and I think people who say he doesn't have pressure
are already trying to cover for him.
Yeah, or even you don't even believe your own shit. Like you have to be honest in this situation. Yeah. Like if you feel as though LeBron is the greatest player to ever play the game, or the greatest in our generation, that you still have heat when you get there.
Yeah.
Kobe had pressure when after Shaq left because he wanted to prove he could win without Shaq.
And he had pressure against the
pressure when he lost against Boston. Yeah. You know, that was pressure. You couldn't say, Boston had the better team. We knew Boston had the better team.
Yeah.
You know, we knew it. But Kobe didn't. I didn't give him no. Even though I said, yeah, Boston was the better team, but Kobe should have still been Kobe. You know?
And he was Kobe for 5 of those 6 games.
I gave him shit when he threw up that horrible game 7 when the Lakers won because of Paul Gasol saved his ass. You talking about saving ass, Ray Allen and LeBron James? Huh? That was just one shot. Paul Gasol carried Kobe that whole game.
No, Rondo tested.
Yo, Kobe, no, Paul Gasol was like, hey man, hey mom, hey Snake, get up here, mama, I got you. You got us to this point, I'm gonna carry you home. But yeah, there's always pressure when you're the greatest player in the game at that point, in that time.
Yeah,
it's like Kobe
absolutely.
was the greatest at one time in the game.
Absolutely,
it was pressure.
So I'm just saying it to the Lee Jenkins of the world.
Yeah.
Like just don't let LeBron off the hook.
Yeah.
Please don't let him off the hook.
Hold him to the fire.
Hold him to the fire because I hate that. Even I could not believe it in 2013 when people were like, oh, well he wasn't. You know he was playing against the Spurs and no bullshit. He was a defending champion.
Yeah.
Cleveland's are the defending champions. So to me, if you got the crown, inherently you have pressure on you.
Even 2 years ago, I didn't stop him. I didn't give him a leeway. I didn't give him an out. Even when he lost Kyrie and he lost Kevin Love, I said, well, if they would have played, maybe it would have been a better series.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a heroic series. He still should have won MVP. But shit, you should have won those games too. You know, like, hey, at a point, Matthew Dellavedova was out there giving his soul. We knew Dellavedova ain't stand a chance out there against Steph Curry, man. We knew this boy. He went to the hospital for an IV after game 1. He was listen, people don't understand this. Matthew Dellavedova almost gave his life in game 1. Like he literally gave everything.
Everything he had, man.
Everything
he had.
You talking about leaving everything on the court.
Jesus.
He literally left everything on the court. Yo, they had to rush this. Yo, he wasn't boxing. He wasn't boxing Mike Tyson. He wasn't getting hit by Sugar Ray Leonard. He didn't go 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali. This man was guarding Steph Curry. Steph Curry sent Matthew Dellavedova to the hospital. Like, yo. Matthew Dellavedova almost died because of
And what did he get for his troubles, yo? Shipped to Milwaukee, dog.
Nah, he left on Milwaukee, man. He's afraid. LeBron gets people paid, man. He turned Matt.
Do you have to tell me that? I know.
Yeah.
Mozgov getting $62 million? I know. Mozgov, the biggest fucking stiff in the world.
Hey man, LeBron got him them 60, man. He got Dellavedova $44 million.
Matthew Dellavedova got
$44 million.
Unbelievable. We'll get into this issue in the offseason, man. These fucking contracts.
Oh, somebody's about to get paid. Kyle Lowry's about to get $200 million.
Yeah, I know we're not talking about free agency right now. Yeah. NBA GMs, who I think are the worst fucking GMs in sports. NBA GMs are fucking clueless. I'm saying this right now. If anybody gives $200 million to Kyle Lowry,
he's getting it, man.
I know he's getting it. But if anybody gives Kyle Lowry $200 fucking million, you literally need to reevaluate your life. At that point, like you might as well just go ahead and Aaron Hernandez yourself, Chris Cornell yourself, like just delete yourself off this fucking universe, yo, because you are fucking stupid. Anybody gives Kyle Lowry $200 million, you need your fucking head examined. You absolutely need your fucking head examined. I would never, ever give Kyle Lowry $200 million.
So you said you want to give him $210? You want to give
I wouldn't give that nigga $210. I wouldn't give that nigga $2.10. Kyle Lowry? Fuck no.
Alright, man.
Fuck out of here, man.
What other news, man?
Fuck out of here, man. Kyle Lowry, $200 million. If Kyle Lowry gets $200 million, nigga, Derrick Rose with no knees should get 180.
Most people forget that Derrick Rose with good knees, though, man.
Fuck out of here, man. AWOL Derrick Rose should get $210 million. Kyle Lowry, get the fuck out of here. And anyway, Memorial Day just passed. Hopefully everybody had a good, safe holiday. With their families, friends, turning up, doing all that shit. Yeah. Huh? What'd you say?
You didn't give me the time for this cookout, man.
Nigga, the cookout shit was just like all over the place, man. First of all, this is how lost I am in doing this podcast and work and shit, being a dad. Nigga, I didn't even know we was cooking out till Saturday, nigga. Like the wife is getting shit ready. She over there seasoning wings and shit. Like, oh no, we're cooking out today. What?
Oh, y'all did it Saturday.
Like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even. And at that point, I was like, oh, this nigga out. So then Monday we did a little something, but it was like 5 o'clock after the fuck. Yeah, yeah. We did it Saturday.
Work.
Because everybody was like, man, I don't feel like fucking cooking on Monday. I gotta go to work the next day and shit, which I feel you. Because I was fucking hurting yesterday. Nigga, I was like,
They got work night.
Lee, nigga, 5:30, like, hurry up. But, yeah, my bad, though, man. Yeah. But, Memorial Day is always that first real kind of barometer where you grade a lot of baseball teams for that season. You know, everything before then is kind of like, okay, it's early, you know, blah, blah, blah. They still got time. But Memorial Day is when you really start assessing who are the contenders, who's in the middle, who's are the pretenders, and who's the teams that are going to have fucking horrible, horrific seasons. So, with that said, who are your top 5 teams that are contenders going into the main portion of this Major League Baseball season?
Well, of course I said it on our opening of our baseball.
Assess all the divisions, basically. So go ahead and assess every division, man.
Oh, I just thought you. Okay, all right.
So just assess every division how it is right now.
All right, man. Well, let's start. We can start American League East. The surprise team were the Yankees, of course. I didn't see.
I definitely didn't see.
I didn't see the baby bombers.
I'm disgusted right now.
Coming this fast.
I'm disgusted.
So of course, the baby bombers are fucking like they're fucking killing, man. Aaron Judge is a fucking monster, man. Sanchez is Sanchez. He isn't the Sanchez of last year, but he's still productive. But Aaron Judge just showed the fuck up, bro. Like this.
I didn't see that shit.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna be impactful. Because I seen him the end of last year, but I didn't know he was.
I thought he was gonna be a poor man Stanton.
No, I didn't know.
I thought he was gonna be a poor man Stanton. This nigga over here becoming fucking.
Yeah, he's Barry Bonds.
He's Bonds. He's a right-handed Bonds now.
Yeah, he's Bonds right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, he's Bonds right now. Well, outside of Mike Trout, but
we'll see if it lasts. But right now,
right now he's killing. He's killing.
Well,
we seen this from Gary Sanchez last year towards the end of the year. So
the league eventually is gonna adjust and make their adjustments, and then Judge is gonna be up to Judge to make the other adjustment.
The counter adjustment. Yeah. So the Yankees are the surprise. Boston's hanging in there without David Price.
I still think Boston misses David Ortiz.
Yeah, I said that in the beginning. Remember I said that? I said they're going to miss David. Like, you don't just replace 35 and 120.
Not even that.
Batting
the face of the franchise. The guy that has carried your franchise throughout this glory period of the Red Sox. He was the guy.
He was 330 last year.
Yeah.
38 home runs and 120
Like, he should have. You could make the case he should have. As a matter of fact, I think he should have won the MVP. Yeah. The fact that Mike Trout, I love Mike Trout, but it's bullshit that he got the fucking. The Angels lost close to 90 games last year. How the fuck did Mike Trout win the MVP? Yeah. Because sabermetricians are voting for MVPs now? That's why?
That's exactly why. So, but anyway. So I think David Ortiz is missed in Boston, sorely missed in Boston.
But I don't think they really fully replaced him because they haven't. I don't think like you said you don't lose that production from your lineup.
Well, what I thought
and replace him with Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, well,
like, how does that even count?
I don't think Mitch Moreland was a replacement. I think they were saying they thought
Hanley was going to step up,
and then Sandoval was coming back because you remember Sandoval missed last year.
Yeah.
So Sandoval,
but the fact that they were still counting on Sandoval to give them any kind of production is already the first fuck up. Like, Sandoval is shot. He is done.
But remember they gave him the money 2 years ago.
Well, that was Sherrington though. Yeah. That was Sherrington. That wasn't.
Still, it is what it is. Baltimore in the East, I'm waiting for them to wake up.
Baltimore, they had a chance to run away with that division. Yeah. But here's a problem with Baltimore. They have no starting pitching. Yeah. Like when Wade Miley is in your rotation and you're counting on Wade Miley to get big outs, that should already tell you that there's a problem. Yeah, Wade Miley now.
I totally agree.
Ubaldo Jimenez. Like, these are fucking dregs. And I don't care how great your bullpen is. And this goes to these because remember when the Royals won, there was this big they don't really need starters anymore. You don't need to have great rotation. The Royals were an anomaly. Yeah. Like, let's put this out there. The Royals were an anomaly. Ever in the almost 200-year history of baseball.
I think what the Royals did though, because they played backyard baseball. And that's the thing that the Royals people overlook. They play, hey, we get on base, we're still on bases, we're hitting, running.
Exactly.
We're playing little league baseball when we get there because we know we don't have the pitching to stand up to other pitching.
And their pitching actually overperformed.
Yeah. So
like Edison Volquez pitched out of his fucking mind. Exactly. I mean, they got good starts out of Chris Young in that postseason. Yeah. Again, Chris Young, my Mets couldn't touch Chris Young. Yeah. Chris fucking Young, throwing 84 miles per hour, but they couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
Like, so they're pitching overperformed. But after that, because you know how it is when a team does.
And then they even got plays with the Giants.
Vargas?
Yeah,
not Vargas, but
shit. Oh shit. You know he got the funky delivery.
Cueto.
And then they got Cueto.
Yeah.
At the end of that,
exactly. People forget that. And Cueto
pitched a workhorse.
Exactly.
Like, he was getting you into the
I mean, he was terrible that whole playoffs until the World Series. Of course, against my team.
Towards the end of the year, though, he plugged a lot of those holes people don't understand. They plugged in the ace.
But what I'm saying is, like, there was a conversation a lot of times last year, like, oh, you don't really need a starting rotation. You just need to have a dominant bullpen now. You can easily win. And I feel like it's starting to dispel that. Like, no, you still need competent starting pitching.
Yeah.
Like, you still need guys that could go at the very least 6 or 7 innings. Yeah. Like, because bullpens are very fickle. Yeah. They're up, they're down. They're up, they're down. Some years they're great, some years they're bad. And I think Baltimore has been one of those teams that they've been waiting for Gausman to take the next step. Bundy's pitching well, but Gausman still hasn't taken that next step. And they're relying too much on that bullpen. And when you rely too much on a bullpen, I know because I'm currently a fan of a team that has completely basically destroyed their bullpen with the lack of pitchers going deep.
Of course you know.
It puts a lot of pressure on your team to win games, and I think that's what Baltimore. I just don't think Baltimore has enough starting pitching on an everyday basis. They have Dylan Bundy, Tillman's hurt and still coming. I think is it Tillman? Yeah. Is Tillman back on the road? Is he? I think he's back, right?
No, I think
Tillman is. I think Tillman is back, or he's just working his way back. I don't know, but Tillman was hurt to start the year, so that immediately affected their rotation. And again, any starting pitching staff that has Wade Miley and Ubaldo Jimenez counted upon to get big outs, like you're already in trouble. So that's my issue with that team. I think Toronto is quietly. Now, granted, they played the fucking horrific Reds, who have you and me pitching.
But I think Tulowitzki and
once they got Donaldson back,
Donaldson and Tulowitzki coming back that fixes
their whole entire lineup.
Yeah, exactly. So they were out there playing with some scrubs, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting Travis back was a big addition for them too. So, Devin Travis, if they can ever keep him healthy, Devin Travis is a player.
Keep him good. Okay.
I'm just saying, keeping him healthy is a big
Mr. Glass. Okay.
But anyway, Toronto's going to be a factor in that division. Yeah. I think that division is going to be.
Well, I predicted it to be the best division in baseball just because it was deep, but I didn't see this because they only have one. Like I'm looking at it now, they only have one team under 500. Yeah. And they're only one game under 500, Toronto. Yeah. So Tampa Bay's excelling. I mean, playing above water, I believe. Yeah. I don't think Toronto.
It's amazing because actually Tampa Bay's for years. Tampa's been in. I can't even fucking speak right now. Tampa's been notorious over the last few years of having a terrible offense and a great pitching staff. Mm-hmm. A pitching staff that's able to keep them in ball games. Exactly. And now it's flipped. Their offense is great. Kevin Kiermaier is finally starting to become an offensive player, and they can't get starting pitching on an everyday basis.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're getting out of Chris Archer from day to day.
Archer's very good, but he's still erratic. Yeah. Alex Cobb, is Cobb still hurt? Or what? Is he still hurt? So they don't get the consistent starting pitching as they always do. So, but Toronto, Tampa at the end of the day, they're still not going to be a big factor in that division going forward. So I think it's going to be, if anything, if nothing else, the Yankees have showed you that they will be a factor in this division. I don't think they're going to win it, and I still don't think they're going to win. They're going to make the playoffs because I do not trust that rotation. I'm sorry, I don't trust Tanaka. I don't trust CC. I don't trust Jordan Montgomery. Severino is finally starting to live up to his.
You don't trust CC Sabathia, man?
I trust him more than Tanaka.
I'm not fucking with you, man.
I still think the Yankees' rotation is a weak spot. And I still think the Yankees are building for 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I was confident.
I think they're even surprised by how good they've gotten off to a good start. But I think if nothing else, the Yankees have showed you that they will be a factor until September. Now, what happens in September is another fucking story.
Yeah, they're 2 games over 500, man. All right, so what do you think about the Central? I think, honestly, I think Cleveland is playing way underwater. Like, I think they're.
Cleveland's underachieving.
Talent level.
Cleveland's underachieving. Yeah, but here's the thing I thought about with Cleveland. Cleveland's going to have the same issues that the Mets had last year. Like, when you ride your pitching staff the way they did through a tough, grueling postseason, like, you're bound to have a residual effect from that. Mm-hmm. Like, you're bound to have guys that are not going to pitch up to that level. As you can see, my boy Kluber. Hurt, been banged up this year to start the year, so he's been affected by it. Salazar has been a disappointment. Like Cleveland was making,
Salazar hasn't recovered.
Well, but also I can argue two things with Cleveland. Number one, they banked so much on, well, shit, we got to the World Series last year and we missing two of our big pitchers, Salazar and Carrasco, and they banked so much on that when those guys came back this year, like they had a lot of pressure. Like, yo, hold up, like. Carrasco got hurt, never really got back. Salazar got back towards the end of the postseason,
but he wasn't look like. But he wasn't even look like himself this year.
Yeah, and he's been affected by that. Obviously, he's been booted from the rotation. He's in the bullpen now.
Yeah.
And Carrasco has been all right. He hasn't been great, but he's been all right. Like that pitching staff is underperforming, and I don't think it's underperforming because of due to bad performances necessarily. It's underperforming because I think when you ride that pitching staff the way you do for a postseason, like there's bound to be a residual effect. And I think that we're starting to see that. You saw that last year with the Mets. Like the pitching staff is affected to a certain extent.
Y'all just suck.
So, okay, we still made the playoffs last year though, right?
I mean,
man, shut up, nigga.
You call it that.
Shut up, nigga. Anyway, whatever, nigga. Anyway, but I still think Cleveland's gonna get it together because I don't believe in the Twins.
Yeah,
I don't believe in the Twins. The Royals have completely fallen off the fucking face of the earth.
Yeah, when you find them, call me. Like,
yeah,
text me like, oh, yo, man, I found.
But I knew that formula was in my trash, man. But see, this is to the discussion we were having earlier. That formula was not bound to last. Like people thought that they still have the bullpen and blah 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 blah. Like no, that formula is not bound to last. Yeah. And I think Kansas City is one of the small market teams that did it the smart way. They took their run. They said, "Hey, we got a 3 to 4 year window."
Yeah.
You know how I feel. I believe that every team, even the great, dominant, big payroll teams, have a 3 to 4 year window at any given point. Even the Yankees had a 3 to 4 year window.
They had like a 10, 15 year window, man.
But you know what I mean. Like, as far as winning, they had a 3 to 4 year window.
10 year window, man.
Now the Yankees were able to mask those windows with.
They won.
They were able to extend those windows with just paying motherfuckers $200, $300 million. I get that, but for the most part, every team has a 3 to 5 year window.
I agree.
If you're a small market team, you have a 3 to 4 year window. And the Royals said, "Hey, we got a 3 to 4 year window. We better win the World Series," and they did that.
Yep, they
did that. They got the two. They won 2 pennants and won a World Series.
Okay.
So I think their time is done. Unfortunately.
I totally agree with you.
Their time is done. So the Royals are done. The team I don't understand, and the team that I picked to be the American League representative is the Tigers.
I know it.
That team, and I don't even put that on Cabrera being hurt. I don't put that on Kinsler being hurt. I don't put that on any of those guys. I put that on Osmus. Osmus, like, how does Brad Osmus still have a job? Can somebody explain that to me? Like, how does Brad, like, I swear, Brad Osmus must have naked pictures of Mike Ilitch's grandkids or some shit. Because, like, it doesn't make sense. Shout out to Mike Ilitch. Rest in peace, Mike Ilitch. But
grandkids, though, right?
I mean, Mike Ilitch was 88, nigga.
Still, man. His grandkids.
Could be doing some Sandusky shit over there. I don't know.
Really, man?
But anyway. No, but seriously. Like, I don't get it. Like, that team has continued. Now, you could say that Verlander fell off a little bit, had a couple years where he wasn't great. You know, that team got older and has underperformed. But still,
they should have paid Scherzer that money 2 years ago.
They should have. They absolutely should have. They paid Anibal Sanchez, but didn't pay Scherzer. I never will understand that one. But to me, the Tigers are still underachieving because I still think they have the pieces there. Now, the problem with the Tigers on the field is the bullpen. That team. It is a crime that Miguel Cabrera has not been able to win a World Series because of a fucking bullpen.
Hey man, he won one in Miami.
He did win one in Miami, but still,
he got hit
in Detroit at his peak, at his fucking best. He hasn't been able to win a World Series because they don't have relievers. Right?
Triple crown winner, man.
When you like the Tigers really went into the season thinking Frankie Rodriguez was the answer in the 9th inning. An old, diminished Frankie Rodriguez.
I can't argue with you.
I mean, this isn't the Frankie Rodriguez that was beating up his pop-in-law. Like, this is the Frankie Rodriguez of 2017 that's throwing 88 to 89. The changeup doesn't quite change as it used to. Like, this is not a guy that I'm banking my World Series hopes on. Okay. I'm sorry. So the Tigers still continue to baffle me, man. I don't get the Tigers, man. And then obviously the White Sox are rebuilding. And they've actually played better than
expected.
Some people have expected.
Way better than I would have expected.
But they're still 3 years away. Yeah. They're still 2-3 years away.
But you knew they were going to do this, once they got rid of Chris Sale. And you knew they were in rebuild mode.
Yeah. And then obviously the AL West, that division is over.
Well, yeah, Houston is Houston.
Houston is the Cubs this year.
I was expecting Seattle to challenge Houston.
We all were.
Yeah. And maybe I was.
Matter of fact, thank you for bringing that up.
I was a little jaded.
They did it to us again.
Yeah, exactly. I was a little jaded because now I'm up here in the Northwest, and I kind of like.
I just want to see some fucking playoff baseball up here, man.
Favor the Mariners a little bit, and I started to just, fall in love with the nostalgia up here and with the baseball team. Because, once, my soul is deep rooted in football. So there ain't no way I'm going to ever fucking like the Seahawks. There's no fucking way.
No, never.
So I can kind of I would like to see the Mariners
not the Seahawks. We're having a fucking novella.
And of course, growing up in our era, like we talked about the nostalgia of the Michael Jordan in our first love. Majority of the people in our generation first love was Griffey Jr. And he was a Mariner. That sweet lefty swing, man. There was no better swing in baseball.
Him and John Oru, best swing I've ever seen.
That shit was pretty. So you always had that connection. Yeah. When you think Mariners, you think King Griffey. You think of the kid. You think of turning your head backwards, putting it down, and swinging that bat left hand from the left hand side of the plate, like the great King Griffey did it. But disappointed in the Mariners, man. I'm solely disappointed because I said this. They were going to disappoint us. I said, damn it, I don't want to say this, but I want Seattle to win the division. And
they did it to us again. Seattle did it to us again. And I said it in the baseball preview show. Seattle's been one of those teams that everybody's been picking seems like the last 3 to 4 years.
It's like gambling.
And they fucking disappoint every single year. And I think, first of all, I think they're done. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're coming back. Because I think Houston's taken off, and it's such a huge deficit that they're not going to be able to come back. Mm-hmm. Their pitching staff is shot. Mm-hmm. Felix is on the DL. Who knows if he's going to come back this year to make an impact? Mm-hmm. Paxton hasn't delivered. Their pitching staff is not what they used to be.
Yeah.
And
Cano.
And that team is going to be in trouble because if they continue to underperform, they got a lot of motherfuckers that they're paying a lot of big money to for a lot of years. Cano being one of them.
Seager.
But Seager's still in his prime. Cano
and Nelson Cruz.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least Cruz has another 2 years left on that deal.
There's still a lot of money, man.
Cano has 8 more years on that fucking deal?
You want to talk about deals? I mean, since we're in the AL West, come on, Pujols' deal.
Yeah, I still would have given that over.
So
Pujols deserves his deal over Kyle Lowry. I just have to say that.
No, listen. I read into the deal that he has, right? So he has 4 years left on this dramatic $30 million a year contract. He still has left 30 years, and then after that, they owe him 10 years. For 10 years, they have to pay him $10 million after that.
Yeah.
You owe him another $100 million after he's done playing. No, you're not understanding what I'm just saying right now. Who the fuck gave Pujols this deal?
Artie Moreno. That's why Artie Moreno's a fucking idiot.
Stop saying his name. Because I'm saying who. He doesn't even deserve to be mentioned. You give these people life. You mention names. He's just who?
No, you have to. You don't. No, because we may have some listeners that don't know anything about baseball.
Okay, you're right.
So you have to put these people out there.
He gave him.
You have to put these people out there.
Him 4 years, another $30 million a year, right? What's that? $120 million? Off the top of my head, another $120 million in this. If you don't trade Pujols, you owe him another $120 million while you're playing.
Oh no, there's no trading Pujols. That's over.
And this is the thing. This is the thing. The people who might not know about baseball. Baseball contracts are guaranteed. That's why you want your kids to play baseball. That's why Caleb's going to play baseball. That's why Nicholas is going to play baseball. Because it's guaranteed money. Once I sign this line, I don't care if I never play again. You still owe me. Shout outs to the New York Mets and Bobby Bonilla. And now people don't know what that means. The Mets are still playing Bobby Bonilla. Look up Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla ain't played in about this.
So 2031, man.
Still getting paid. But that's what Pujols is going to be under. Yeah. You owe him $120 million while he's still playing. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you owe him 10 years at $10 million per year, which is another $100 million. Nobody's ever taken Pujols off your hands, man. Nobody.
Oh, we knew that.
And that's why you have to trade. That's why you have to trade Mike Trout.
I didn't say I have to trade Mike Trout.
You have to.
Nah.
You're going to waste Mike Trout's prime years, best years of his career, playing in Los Angeles.
You can never trade Mike Trout because you're never going to get fair value.
You're right.
I think you're better off letting him leave as a free agent.
No, you're not.
And just completely tearing down.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you can get something in your farm system, even though you won't get. We know.
I can make the case if they continue to be bad like they were last year or this year, you're going to have a top pick.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you're going to have that anyway with Trout. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
You might as well trade him and get more.
But can you really get more? Who's going to give you more
for Trout?
Than Mike Trout.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the future. We're not. I'm not banking on right. Listen, for the next 4 years, you're strapped. You're fucked.
But here's the problem with trading Mike Trout. And he just went on the DL for the first time, so their season is done.
Yeah,
Mike Trout, it's over for the Angels.
But they just won 2 in a row since he's been down. So yeah.
They're done.
I agree.
Done. Put him in the oven. Done.
Stick a fork in them, baby. Dickie V.
But here's the problem with trading an immortal like Mike Trout. Any player they bring back is going to consistently be compared to Mike Trout. Yeah. Because that's who you traded him for.
Yeah.
And if that's the problem with trading superstars. You're never going to get fair value.
But it's not. See, that's
why I never subscribe to that theory that you have to trade a guy before he hits free agency. Sometimes I do. So I'm on the fence with that because sometimes you're never going to get fair value for that guy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's not the argument. I understand you're not going to get fair. Like even if you get two good players and 2 good prospects, they're never going to equal up to Mike Trout. Yeah. Mike Trout gives you 30, arguably 40 and 110 a year, steals 20 bases, the best center fielder in baseball, arguably defensively. So and you're going to get 2 players to compromise. You know that's 2 different bets that you have to put in the lineup to hope to get you 35 and 110 and then a great center fielder on defense. So I agree with you. You're not going to get fair value. But if you let him walk in free agency, you get nothing.
I agree with you, but here's the problem.
And I'm not arguing that you should get players in return. I'm talking about prospects. Literally, I need somebody that's 3-4 years away.
But even then, a team is going to have to because it's not going to just take 2 players. You're literally going to have to give up your entire farm system. Like
exactly. I totally agree.
If I'm the Angels GM. Like the conversation doesn't start until you're at least giving me your 3 best prospects.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then your top 2 prospects.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like let's say for instance,
and no team's going to be willing to pay that price.
But if this was 3-4 years ago, right, and we were having this conversation, and this was the Yankees thinking they still could hold on to that glimmer of hope with the A-Rod and their Jeter going to. You don't think that let's say for instance, Aaron Judge, Sanchez and all these guys were still down in AAA before they got there. They wouldn't have gave up them prospects for Mike Trout. You know the Yankees would have.
Exactly. But to be fair, they weren't. Judge was a touted prospect, but he wasn't the prospect that everybody Aaron Judge is exceeding expectations.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is
even Gary Sanchez is exceeding expectations.
But what I'm saying is you're going to have to give up the farm system in order to get a Trout. And
let's use Boston for example. Boston is a better example. Because Boston to get Mike Trout would have had to give up Betts, Moncada, Moncada. No, I think they would have to give up Jackie Brown. No, I think they would have to give up Betts, Moncada, Andrew Benintendi, and Kopech, that pitcher that they gave the White Sox.
Okay, yeah, well,
that's 4 elite.
I think they would still have to give up some more.
4 elite young players. Yeah. No, that's starting out.
Yeah,
that's the base package.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And then maybe throw in a lesser prospect to even the deal out. But that's 5. I don't think any team is going to do that unless you just absolutely feel like Mike Trout. You're 1 piece away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. That Yankees team would have did it back then.
So let's talk about now. Let's talk about taking that next. Taking that next year, we're gonna finish up with the AL. Houston. I still don't buy Houston as a championship team. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win that division by 20 plus games. They're going to win that division. They're going to be in the postseason. They're going to play in October. Okay. That's not a debate. But I still don't buy Houston as a big time championship contender because outside of Dallas Keuchel and Lance McCullers, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying Brad Peacock.
But once you get to the playoffs, we all know if you got the Dallas Keuchel on your fucking
and I would make the case that I don't like soft tossers in October.
Listen, man.
People forget. As great as Greg Maddux was, and if anybody can tell you how great Greg Maddux, because I watched him. I mean, basically basically fucking emasculate my fucking franchise for a decade plus. But let's be fair. Greg Maddux in the postseason was it's like Greg Maddux, DirecTV, Greg Maddux, cable DirecTV, and in the postseason, it was Comcast Greg Maddux. He was not a great pitcher, and even Glavine had his moments in October where he wasn't great.
Yeah, but
here's the thing: I don't even put Dallas Keuchel on that level. Are you confident that Dallas Keuchel can dominate a playoff series?
Yes.
Did you watch Dallas Keuchel against the Royals a couple years ago?
Sure, man, I am. I mean, but that Royals team was prime. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. But even if I give you Dallas Keuchel, Lance McCullers is no sure thing.
Yeah, I get
Even
you.
though he's having a good year, he's finally living up to expectations. All I'm arguing is you don't have a top two like a Syndergaard and a DeGrom.
Yeah.
You don't have a top two like Strasburg and Scherzer. Mm-hmm. They're not on that level.
Yeah, I get it.
And then after those two, it's very fucking suspect.
Yeah.
Very suspect. So here's the question. If you're Houston, are you going to make the deal to get a Sonny Gray? To get a big time pitcher.
Yeah, I think towards the end they will.
But it's gonna take Bregman.
Yeah, I think they will.
You think they're willing to give up Bregman?
Yeah, I think so. I think towards the end of the year, like around playoff time, when they start to get their itch and they understand what it's going to take to win the World Series, hopefully.
I think they should.
They're like, we're primed right now.
Yeah.
And then that franchise has lived in so much misery in the last 20 years. It's like, dude, we can do this.
And here's the thing, and I've always said this in any sport: when you have a chance to win a championship,
you have to go for it.
You have to go for it. Yeah. Like the NBA is the only sport where you can be conservative. Where like if you don't go for it this year, exactly.
One player.
But every other sport, in the NFL,
continuity.
in Major League Baseball,
the continuity, too many players.
And even in the NHL, when you got a chance to win a championship, you have to go for it because you never know. This was my problem in 2015 with Met fans. Mm-hmm. Like Met fans were too calm about losing the series to the World, a series that we should have won.
We might not ever get back.
Like that's the thing. That could have been our moment in the sun. Like when you got a chance to strike, you got to strike. Yeah. And I'm very interested to see if Houston is going to strike when the time comes.
I hope so.
They better.
I hope so.
Because if you're pitching Brad Peacock or whatever the fuck his name is in Game 3 of a division series against the Red Sox or Orioles or whoever, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And Houston can hit all. George Springer can hit all the home runs from here to Kingdom Come.
Altuve can
run base. Carlos Correa can be A-Rod 2.0. But they don't got pitches behind Lance McCullers and Dallas Keuchel. Houston's going good night very early in October. Very early in October. Let's get to the National League. Fucking NL East.
Oh, you really want to start there?
Let's start there, man.
All right, man. So we know the Nats are who the Nats are, man. Like
we spotted y'all in the division already.
My Dick Vermeil speech.
Go ahead. We spotted y'all.
They are who they fucking are, all right? You don't say you spotted us anything. We took it.
Y'all.
We're taking the division.
Okay.
We're raping the privilege in the division, man. Your whole ass Mets. Tell them to come on out here so they can get butt raped.
So I have a question for you. The Mets are done?
Yes, they're done.
Not making the playoffs.
Dunzo.
Not making the playoffs.
Dunzo. Dunzo. And only why I'm saying this because I love your face right now. I love the way you're looking right now. You're so upset. You're so calm when you're mad. Like, you're so calm. I love it. You know what? I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said they weren't done. I think they could have ran for the wild card. But I changed my stance. And the only reason I changed my stance, because I love it when you're mad. I love it. It makes for such great commentary. It makes like I get at the core of your soul when the Mets are doing bad. I love it, man. There's no better feeling, and then when the Mets lose, like there's no like. It's not that I hate the Mets. It's just that I love when you're mad. Like it's not. I'm not a Mets hater. I love to see them lose. Because I'm a Nats fan. Because I love Bryce Harper. Shout out to Bryce Harper for not taking that 98 mile per hour pitch in the hip.
That nigga caught that
without the stain.
No, shout out to Hunter Strickland.
This dude's we're gonna get to that after this. We can get to it now. So of course I have the Nats winning the NL East. Of course. And I said this in the beginning of the year, which you didn't. And I said they were going to run away with it, which you didn't. I said all these things.
Well, because I didn't fucking expect Matt Harvey to fucking go AWOL.
Come on, man.
I didn't expect Syndergaard to be a fucking idiot.
I did. I expected all this.
Yeah,
I expected
okay.
the best to be the best.
I'm sure you did.
I expected
Cespedes
to be on the DL. He's Mr. Glass also.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
Mr. Glass, okay.
I expected this.
All right.
What I didn't expect, and which I said which would be great for you guys, is if Jay Bruce showed up. It's scary if Jay Bruce shows up in that lineup. He's showing up this year, but ain't nobody else showing up around him.
Conforto?
Yeah, well, Conforto's Conforto. If you guys give this motherfucker playing time,
this
year he is.
He's the guy now.
But that's because everybody's injured. But if
he's the guy now.
Yeah, he is.
Forward, he's the guy.
But we knew this last year. We knew this a year and a half ago Conforto was going to be this guy. If you played him, and don't worry, you guys will fuck it up again. Conforto will be gone in 2 years, just like Daniel Murphy.
Really?
Some way you will find. Come on. Thank God for giving up Daniel Murphy.
Conforto's a franchise.
No. So you think? I mean, sometimes you bet on the wrong players. I mean, not Matt Harvey, but David Wright was, the cornerstone. And we see what happened. We see what happened to David Wright, right? So. By the way, By the way, I was a David Wright fan. I'm a Nationals fan.
Well,
I love David Wright so much. I have a David Wright jersey. That's how much I love David Wright.
If David Wright could take the same substances that
come on, go ahead.
Ryan Zimmerman is taking, maybe you're right.
No, Ryan Zimmerman.
Al Jazeera, get on it, man. Al Jazeera, get on it, man. Get on it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not alleging anything. I'm not alleging anything.
So this is what I wanted to talk about.
I'm just saying, Al Jazeera, make the coverage.
Thank you for reminding me of this, because I remember on your little.
I'm just playing. I don't want to get sued.
I remember at the beginning of the year, you were like,
I'm just playing. I don't want to get sued.
What did you say at the beginning of the year?
What's that?
If you guys can find Ryan Zimmerman, and I told you he's gonna have a breakout year, and you was like, I haven't seen Ryan Zimmerman in 2.5 years.
This dude was a below average. Was a shell of the shell he used to be.
So, but listen.
And now this year he's fucking Mike Schmidt. I can't believe this.
We're not talking about the past, man.
Whatever.
Listen, man.
All right, let's get back on track. So Nationals obviously they're gonna run away with the division.
I'm disappointed.
Unless they fucking collapse. I still would not trust your bullpen in a big spot. And let me tell you this.
Of course, we don't have a fucking bullpen.
Let me tell you this. The Nationals no longer it's about the regular season.
Yeah, you're right. It's about the postseason.
It is time now to win.
I agree with you. There's no argument here. So I'm disappointed. Most disappointed is the Mets, to be honest. I think you guys have the pitching staff to be great if they're healthy. But I've seen this. I don't know what you guys were expecting out of Matt Harvey. We've seen this. This story has been played over and over again for the last 3-4 years, man. Matt Harvey is what he is, man. This is the same problem he had in college. Like Matt Harvey is who he is, man. Stop trying to trade that Chevy into a Ferrari. It's a Chevy, okay? Like. You got what you got.
Oh, really? Okay.
You got what you got.
He's a Chevy now. Okay. All right.
Hey, man, that's all I'm saying.
There was a point where you would have taken Harvey over Strasburg.
Never.
You fucking lying.
Never.
You lying, man.
Never.
I'm not even going to get into it with you.
Never.
You're not even going to get into it with you.
Never. I'm being totally honest here. Never.
Fucking lying.
Potential-wise.
You a liar.
Work-wise.
You a liar.
Like, I'm not.
Strasburg's been a disappointment.
To you.
So he has?
No.
Again, Steven Strasburg has yet to pitch in the postseason.
Because he's hurt.
I know what Matt Harvey can do in the postseason.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yes.
And
had Terry done the right thing and taken it, and had Terry done the right thing and not let him pitch the ninth fucking inning.
Give me the ball. I want the ball.
At least he wants the fucking ball. Did Strasburg want the ball? No.
They had Tommy John.
No, man, get the fuck out of here.
Come on,
get the hell out of here.
He had Tommy John surgery.
Man, whatever. That dude didn't want nowhere near that man.
Get that man alone, man.
That man was like, okay, shut me down, Mike.
No,
I don't care.
He said, hey, man, if we really want to win, if we really want to be a dynasty,
man, get the fuck out of here.
You know what this is going to take? I don't want to blow out my arm again.
Y'all was comfortable with Edward Jackson taking the mound in Game 5 against the Cardinals instead of Scherzer.
Come on,
instead of fucking Strasburg.
Come on, man.
Get the fuck. There's a reason why y'all gave Scherzer $200 million because y'all couldn't fucking count on Strasburg. No, don't bullshit me. And Gio Gonzalez fell apart.
We gave him $200 million because we knew it took three pitchers, 3 or 4 pitchers.
No, because you couldn't. No. Because you couldn't count on Strasburg.
Come on, man. Get
the fuck out of here. Strasburg's been a disappointment.
Who can you count on?
Strasburg's been a disappointment.
Who can you count on?
When Syndergaard has his fucking head right and wants to take an MRI, I can count on Syndergaard.
You sure?
Yes.
He ain't got his head right.
Oh, okay.
Can you count on my Harvey? You gotta take the
Harvey, no.
You gotta take all the Harvey, no. New York. Gotta take all the liquor, all the beer, all the women, because hey, he got personal problems. How you a millionaire stressing over women, man?
Adriana leaving.
Jay-Z
I'd probably be stressing over Adriana leaving too, nigga.
What? For what?
She ain't that good looking to me, bro.
Yeah, for what? Exactly. I got 99 problems.
Now, if it was Zoe Saldana, I'd be stressing over that ass too.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You know what I mean? If it was Zoe now.
This is your squad, man.
If anybody else, I don't know, man. Sorry if my wife is listening. I ain't mean that.
This is your squad,
anyway,
man.
Yeah, anyway, man. Anyway, listen.
Yeah, so I'm disappointed in that.
That division is done because I think the Nationals have a big lead now. At least 7-8 games.
I'm surprised in the Phillies, too.
It's not insurmountable like it is the Astros.
I think it's just...
It's not insurmountable because the Nationals don't have the complete...
The bullpen. I get it.
It's not
Like
insurmountable.
you said, I don't trust the bullpen. Like you said, you don't trust...
Strasburg is an injury away from going down, and you know that.
You say you don't trust the bullpen, and I say, what bullpen? We don't have one. Like, it's okay to trust nothing.
But neither do we.
We got shit.
Neither do us.
You got more than what we got.
No, we have the worst ERA in the National League right now.
Yeah, that's because you're starting pitching as went to shit, though. That's what your ERA really is fucking up on. You start pitching,
and then we overwork the bullpen, and of course the bullpen.
Now.
But I still am not ready to count my team out. Call me stupid.
I'm
not ready to count it. Because the rest of the National League is weak.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I'll get you. Okay.
And because we still haven't seen this Met team with everybody on the field.
Atlanta's Atlanta, Philly's Philly. Yeah. Miami.
And we haven't seen it. And respectfully, Miami's been a disappointment. But I told you, Miami's gonna have a hard time. Like, you lost a potential thoroughbred Hall of Fame pitcher.
No, that's
like,
not
it's hard. It's hard. I mean, he wasn't there yet, but he was already on the road. He was on the road. He was on the road.
Yeah, we knew
he hadn't reached LA Hollywood yet, but he was but he was damn near in Vegas.
Yeah. No, he was in Vegas already. We knew what the kid was.
We knew what he was. Yes,
absolutely. We knew what he was going to be. This wasn't no. Yeah.
But you look like it's hard. That casts to me. That casts a dark cloud over a franchise.
Yeah,
like that you can't. And then they tried to do the Royals route. Oh, we're gonna build up this bullpen. Who cares if we're throwing Bruce Chen out there for a starter? Not Bruce Chen, but Wei-In Chen for 31 starts. Get the fuck out of here. Wei-In Chen and these Drex. Like, man, you're not gonna win fucking big time games with this starting rotation. Get the hell out of here. Edison Volquez left his career in Kansas City. Like, that's it. It's done. It's over. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I thought they'd be a little bit better, but not that much. Yeah. I still think the Mets are going to be heard from eventually. What my biggest fear is if we haven't already dug ourselves a big hole.
Yeah, too big of a hole to climb out of. Like you said, the NL is pretty shit this year. So
yeah. And then the Central. What did I tell you about the Cubs? Did they lose today? By the way,
I don't know.
Because they were tied 1-1 in the 6th inning. The last time I checked with them with the Padres, they had a day game. The Padres almost could have.
They lost 2-1. Yeah.
2-1. The Padres just got swept by the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, the Cubs got swept.
The Cubs now it's gone past now a hangover. Now I will say this.
Yeah.
It's gone past a hangover. Here's the problem with the Cubs.
Still drunk.
Here's the problem with the Cubs. Arrieta is shot. Arrieta's not the same pitcher he was.
I don't think he's shot, but yeah, I think
he's not the same pitcher he was.
Yeah,
I mean, his velocity is down to 90.
Yeah, shot. Well, they say he hit 96 the other day, so. I mean, but yeah, I agree. You called it. Let me get this out the way. Let me give you your little prelude into it. Manny Brown, aka Manny Fresco, said, "Hey, the Cubs are going to have a championship hangover. There's no way."
I think
and I quote, "There's no way you break a curse of over 100+ years and think you're going to make it to the World Series the next year. It's too much."
Or just couldn't be just dominate again.
Yeah, he said it was just too much. He said it. It was like everybody was like, "Oh, the Cubs lineup is this, the Cubs lineup is that." They have the great starting pitching coming back. Lester.
I don't think they're. But here's the thing though. I never loved their starting pitching.
Can I give you an opening segment to show your rant?
Go ahead, man.
So he called this in the beginning of the year and was like, "Hey man, this hangover is going to be too much. 100 years casted over a city. 100 years of arguably one of the greatest baseball franchises in baseball history get casted, and you break the curse, and you just think the next year you're just going to do it all again."
Yeah.
He said it. Yeah. His words, not mine. He said it, and I must say, man, a lot of times I get on you because you're wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I get on you sometimes when you're wrong. I put you in the bag, and I put you in the spin cycle. Put you in the washing machine and just put you in the spin cycle. No rinse, no nothing. So here it is. I'm giving you your platform. I applaud you.
Listen, man. No, don't applaud me. Don't
You called it, man.
I'm just gonna say this. It's beyond a hangover now. I think the Cubs have some issues. I think that pitching staff. I mean, quiet as kept. I thought that pitching staff overperformed last year. I don't think that pitching staff is that good. I'm not buying. I didn't buy Kyle Hendricks being the next Greg Maddux. I didn't buy. I saw that shit. I saw that come down.
But a lot of people,
even though he's pitched well this year,
a lot of people
pitched better than his record.
A lot of people thought he was the next Greg Maddux.
Yeah, no. I saw Kyle Hendricks in the division in the NLCS against the Mets, and the Mets basically roughed him up. So no,
but you said it best. Greg Maddux was a different pitcher from regular season to postseason.
But yeah, but even then, I thought Kyle Hendricks pitched out of his mind last year, and it was bound to be a come down.
Okay,
I think Arrieta's shot. I don't think he's shot, but he's damn near getting close to it.
I get you
because he's not the same pitcher.
But most people don't understand Jake Arrieta's 33.
Oh, he's 32.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. 32, 33.
And that delivery, that motion, like...
So, most people are just falling in love with Jake Arrieta. Most people don't remember when he was in Baltimore. When he couldn't make a roster in Baltimore. Yeah. So... Yeah. With the Orioles...
Arrieta is a big...
He's been around for a while.
Big issue for the Cubs right now.
Yeah.
Big issue for the Cubs right now.
I get it.
And Lester's Lester still, but even he's not young. And Lackey's old.
Yeah,
he's shot,
and he's showing. Yeah,
he's shot.
John Lackey's showing his John Lackey like he's his age.
And when you got Brian Anderson as your fifth starter, yeah.
So let's go on to Milwaukee. What do you think about Milwaukee?
Milwaukee's
playing above water.
Milwaukee's playing above. Craig Counsell. Shout out to Craig Counsell. I think he's a great manager. He's impressed me the last 2 years.
So what have you said about Eric Thames? Go ahead. Say
what?
Go ahead. Say what you said about Eric Thames on air.
I ain't saying nothing about Eric Thames. I'm not trying to get sued, dog. So listen. All I'm saying is I think we need to just do some more piss tests. Okay? I'm being a hypocrite because I said a couple weeks ago I bashed Anthony Rizzo for being a bitch and calling out Eric Thames. He came out of nowhere.
Do the hit him up. Do what you just did earlier because I said Eric Thames roughed up the ground today. See, we just said fuck Eric Thames.
Fuck Eric Thames.
Fuck Milwaukee.
Fuck all them niggas.
Fuck the Brewers as an organization.
Fuck that nigga, man. And I got family in Milwaukee, so I can say that. I got family in Milwaukee. My aunt lived in Milwaukee for 30 years. My uncle still live there. I got family in Milwaukee. Fuck Milwaukee. Fuck the Brewers. Fuck all them niggas, man.
And if you down with Milwaukee, fuck you too.
Shout out to Robert Yount, though.
What you say? What you said? Fuck Japan for resurrecting Eric Thames' career? Fuck the whole Asian Peninsula. He said, yo, he was going out. Like, you like, yo. He said, he said, that's what happened with Hiroshima. That's what happened, huh? He went down there and got went down there and found the juice, huh?
Moving on, man, because I'm not trying to get you.
I get you, man. We're just messing with you.
No, we just messing with you, Eric Thames, though. We messing with you.
Shout out to a great start of the year, man. Nobody really seen this happening. Like you just said, man, Craig Counsell is fucking managing his ass off down there in Milwaukee, man.
But I don't think it's gonna last.
He's doing all of that.
I don't think it's gonna
I don't know, man.
I don't think it's gonna last. I think that I will say this, and I will give the Cubs enough respect that I think that eventually
they'll catch up.
I think in the second half they will get their act together.
I don't know, man.
I think they will. I think they will sputter like this.
You might give the Brewers enough confidence for them to think, hey, man, fuck it.
I don't think the Cardinals are the same team, so I don't buy the Cardinals.
Yeah.
The Cardinals don't have a dominant offensive player.
Yeah, they don't.
That's why I don't love the Cardinals. Yeah. The Brewers...
And I think Carpenter needs to go back to second base, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They need to put him back at second base, man.
I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Carpenter, man. I seen when he came back off the injury, you wanted to play him a little bit at first. Got him away from third a little bit. But you need to put Carpenter back at second base. That's when he was his best. I think he needs to go back to second base, man. And he hasn't found his swing yet this year. I don't know where the fuck his swing went. And you gotta go from 330 to goddamn 178.
I feel you.
Like, what the fuck are you?
The rest of that division is the shits. So I think the Cubs eventually will.
We only have to talk
just by a battle of attrition. The NL West is a surprising division. The Rockies are beasting, even though they had a tough.
The Diamondbacks, unexpected.
I don't buy the Diamondbacks though.
But unexpectedly, they're
unexpectedly. But I think the Diamond. See, the thing. This is why I believe in the Mets, because let's say the Cubs take over that division and win it. The Mets are chasing the Diamondbacks. Let's say the Dodgers are entrenched in that number one wild card. The Mets are chasing the Diamondbacks, the Brewers, the Cardinals, Like that's what the Mets are chasing.
Yeah.
And, no, but Colorado's going to be the division winner. LA's going to be the first wild card.
That's what you're saying.
So that's what the Mets are chasing.
Okay,
theoretically.
Okay, you said for the wild card. I got you. All right.
That's what the Mets are chasing theoretically. Anybody believe that the Mets can't catch Arizona?
What, they're 10 games back, man?
I don't think this start's gonna last for Arizona though.
You don't?
I don't.
Well, I think when you have a workhorse like Greinke up there, like you're stabilizing that rotation once out of every 5 days. So that's a You chalk that.
It's the rest of that rotation. That,
but still,
I don't trust Robbie Ray. Patrick Corbin had his one shining moment a couple years ago before Tommy John. Like they've got a decent starting rotation, but I still don't trust Aaron. If there's any team that's leading the division besides Milwaukee right now that I feel like, or is a good team that's bound to falter in the second half, is Arizona. Yeah, I don't buy Arizona as the team that's gonna win the ball.
The only bad thing I have to say is because they play in the NL West and they have to go through the Dodgers and they have to play Colorado and they have to play.
And the Giants are still gonna be.
Yeah, so I think
the Giants are still gonna be a tough out. Yeah. I mean, they're playing against San Diego, but San Diego is not as bad as their record will show. Because I saw San Diego a lot, and San Diego has a horrific pitching staff. San Diego has the worst pitching staff I've ever seen in my life.
Well, they just swept the Cubs.
They did enough. That should tell you more about the Cubs than it should tell you about San Diego.
Yeah.
But I still think I don't buy Arizona.
Okay.
I told you about Colorado. I thought Colorado was going to be a team to be messed with. So
yeah, you did earlier.
But I just don't trust Arizona. I love Terry Lovell, the manager. I thought that was a big hire by them, but I don't trust that Arizona's going to be that team that's going to take over. So I'll take my money chasing down Arizona, Milwaukee, St. Louis. I know we got to jump over a lot of teams, but I still will take my money in the Mets making that wild card. So that's the baseball landscape, basically. I mean, that's baseball, man. But I think right now, if you had to pick two favorites for the World Series right now, I mean, I guess you got to go with Nationals in Houston. Right now, the season ended today.
Of course, I'm picking the Nats. I'm a homer. I mean,
of course.
You know we didn't go nowhere else. I mean,
too bad for you. The season doesn't end after 40 games, right?
You're right, man. After 50 games, it don't end. Yeah. So I'm picking the Nats in the NL, and I guess you got to go with Houston. I mean,
shout out to Hunter Strickland.
Fuck Hunter Strickland. On to that. Since you want to
No, we ain't got to cover it, dog. Yeah. Like, honestly, we already talked about it, man.
Shout out to Bryce Harper and fucking those old baseball, the
dumbass unwritten rules of baseball. The
baseball got this this suspension so wrong. Like they got I didn't think you can get this so wrong. Suspended someone for 4 games, which got reduced to 3 today, and suspending the pitcher, the relief pitcher, for 6 games. Ultimately, you got it so wrong, man. Like I heard the argument that, which I was gonna say from the beginning. I wish we would do that show before everybody else came out and did this show. We had to wait till Wednesday because it's my day off. But anyway,
this nigga slave.
That Bryce, but that Bryce, that's slavery. If Bryce Harper doesn't charge the mound, the Strickland gets suspended. No,
not really. Because there was no warning issue, though.
Yes, but it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying that's their logic.
But
there was no warning issue.
You knew why dude.
I don't think they knew because nobody expected you to retaliate the fucking 3 years.
I watched the game.
Listen,
I watched the game. I was at home watching that game. At home in the bed, laid up, watching it. You probably ain't watching, but it was on ESPN. I was kicked up and I was watching the game and I'm just sitting back chilling. And announcers, it was like, hey man, you remember they were talking about how he went home off Strickland 3 years ago. Both 2 mammoth home runs in the playoffs, and how Strickland is pissed. And you saw it. If you have to replay the game, I swear to God, if they can go from the announcers predicting that he was going to hit Bryce Harper, and they was like, yep, there's going to be a problem here. He hasn't faced him since the 2 the mammoth home runs. And then he hit him with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. This is the first time he faced him since that 3 years ago in the playoffs. So they knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. I can even beg to say Buster Posey knew it was coming. Yeah. By his reaction. And I'm gonna tell you.
I'll say Buster.
Buster Posey stood up and was like, and I'm gonna check before you get to it, and I'm gonna ridicule you when you try to grill him because he's the catcher and he's supposed to protect him. Buster Posey was thinking in his head, dummy, we won that series. Dummy, we won the World Series that year.
Yeah, I get it.
Dummy, they're not gonna hit you. They're gonna hit me.
Yeah.
I'm out there to throw 98 at my head. You ain't got to fight that. I'm going to have to fight your battle. So, yeah, since you want to hit him, and when he charged that male, you're going to have to fight that man as a grown man. Mm-hmm. Hey, if I'm the pitcher, and I know how people say the catcher's supposed to protect his pitchers. This is a team sport. I'm a grown man, dog. Anything I've ever done on my own recognizance, I wanted the bill back from it. I wanted the blowback. I didn't want nobody to protect me. Sports or in life.
I feel you.
So, most people are like grilling this shit like they're putting Buster Posey to the fire. No. Look, Buster Posey stood up and was like, yo, hey man, you get on that horse, you gotta ride it, George Bush style. Hey man, you better figure this out, man. Hey man, look, this is your fault.
Listen, I don't know why anybody's surprised that this really happened. Yeah. I mean, we already know baseball players are done with this fucking baseball unwritten rule shit. B, Hunter Strickland is a fucking hothead, as we know. I mean, anybody that wants to fight Salvador Perez, the biggest fucking teddy bear in baseball.
In the world. You can argue
in the world, like, it's already got fucking mental issues. It's already got mental issues already. Already has
nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, in the World Series a couple years ago.
The nicest
already has mental issues as is. So then, like, why would you, like, A, it was 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. B, you won the World Series. Now, I personally took enjoyment out of it because I hate fucking Bryce Harper. I can't fucking stand
I get it.
I've been wanting somebody to punch him in the fucking face for the longest time.
You finally got it.
And he finally got that two-piece. That was the best part of Memorial Day weekend, yo.
But one, let's get this right, man. He ain't two-piece him. He
got that two-piece.
He hit him with the one. Bryce Harper hit him with the overhand, and then he hit Bryce Harper back. Now, and then
he didn't get the two-piece. He didn't get a two-piece, but he at least got a leg and maybe a wing.
Listen,
would you agree with that? He got a leg and a wing.
Because a two-piece is a combo. You got to hit somebody twice without hitting you back. That's
it's a combo. Okay, he got a leg and a wing.
Come on,
sprinkled with like you ever getting like you ever had a bucket of chicken and they give you that bullshit ass piece of chicken that like it's like the deformed wing or that deformed drumstick.
You can tell
that's what he got. He got a deformed drumstick.
You can tell in a fight who wins, not by how many punches are landed, by who's the maddest after the fight's over. Because when, like, if you're fighting somebody and you win, and when it's over, like, yo,
you get the ultimate satisfaction.
I'm good, right?
Yes.
But when you're still mad and you still want to fight, that means you think you lost.
Because that Strickland is a fucking a psychopath.
Because when he got hit back, he was like, oh, all right, look,
listen,
I need redemption here.
But no. Even if what you're saying, even if your logic about this fucking fight is accurate,
go ahead, go to the baseball.
Even if this, I mean, yo. This nigga Bryce Harper has to catch the L just because of that fucking helmet throw.
Listen, man, when you adrenaline,
there's no coming back from that. No, dog. No.
Slip.
No. Just like 50 Cent, for a long time, I just threw away all my 50 albums. Like, I threw Get Rich or Die Trying in the trash, bro. Because when he threw out the fucking first pitch at City Field.
You threw out Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, I threw out. I bought it back. I bought it back. I bought it back.
Of all time.
Yeah, of course. But I bought it back. I bought it back. But I threw out my hard copy because, yo, this nigga just embarrassed Queens.
You disrespectful, man.
He embarrassed Queens, yo.
You disrespectful.
Curtis, you embarrassed Queens, yo.
You disrespectful, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway. I ain't throw away my reasonable doubt when Jay-Z came out with the open-toe sandals. I'm just saying. Like, come on, man.
No, you can't do that, man. That's a different comparison, man.
Come on, man.
That's Hov the God, man. You can't compare that, man. But anyway, Bryce has to catch the L, man.
Nah, man.
He has to catch the L.
Ain't no L's in this one, though.
Yes, it is.
There's no L's in this one, man. Hunter Strickland.
If somebody caught an L, but we'll get to that. Somebody in that fight caught an L.
Who? Mike Morris?
No.
Mike Morris?
Jeff Samardzija thought he was on in Notre Dame again.
Shout out to Jeff Samardzija, man.
Shout out to Jeff Samardzija. He can't pitch worth a damn, but he can still throw a block.
Hey, man.
Fucking
he's
idiot.
A great wide receiver.
Fucking idiot. Speaking of guys that got overpaid. Let's talk about him. But let's talk about the guy who really had a bad Memorial Day.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
Let's talk about the guy Mr. Eldrick Woods. At this point, what'd you say?
Yeah,
we don't deserve to call him.
He's no longer that animal in the jungle with the stripes, man. He's Eldrick.
No, he's Eldrick, man. Yeah, let's talk about my friend Eldrick, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out the pain pills, baby. Shout out to Oxycodone. Come on, man. Shout out to pain pills, baby.
Eldrick had a rough Memorial Day, man.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? I mean, we can sit here and obviously he took too much of something. pills,
a mixture
not
of
liquor,
pills, yeah.
liquor, and got behind a vehicle, and that's bad enough already because thank God he was alone and he didn't hurt anybody else or himself. But this whole situation is just sad to me. Like after a while, after the initial just laughter, because I'm laughing at the fun. His mugshot now is on. It hasn't replaced the Jordan meme, but it's getting damn near close.
No, listen. The Jordan meme will never be replaced.
It will never be replaced.
Listen, the Jordan meme, like I told you before we came on the air, the Jordan meme is so famous that now when you just see the crying Jordan face, the actual Jordan, the picture of Jordan crying at that podium, it really looks like it's a meme now. The meme looks like a meme. I don't think the Woods meme will get to that level, but time will tell. But like you just said, that mugshot, bro.
Yeah, that mugshot. It's hard.
They're doing the before and after. The before and after pictures are hilarious.
It's hard. It's hard to come back from that.
The Russell Wilson joint that you put up about, hey, I'm fucked up right now.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson turns into Tiger Woods. Get out of the way when Sierra say, come to the house, bro.
So here's my thing though. Here's
your synopsis of the situation.
Not even so much a synopsis, man. It's just disappointment.
How the mighty have fallen.
You can make the case that outside of Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods was the biggest, best athlete in the world.
At that period, yeah.
For about a decade. Like, he was the biggest athlete in the world. And just to have, now everybody has theories and what happened. I mean, I think injuries have played a huge part in that, obviously, number one. Obviously, you have to say injuries have played a predominant role in his, like, as a person who's dealing with back injuries, I can relate to backs are debilitating. How many countless athletes we've seen that have lost their careers? Larry Bird, back, prime example. Don Mattingly, prime example. So anybody that thinks that they're just going to come back from a back injury, David right now, we're seeing it. It's sad. Like, back injuries are the worst injury you can get in any sport. Because that just, besides, getting paralyzed or some shit, breaking your neck or some shit. But
still have to deal with your back.
Yeah, it still affects you. Like, the back is the most integral part of your body in a lot of ways.
Besides your brain.
Besides your brain and your heart and all that. But those are more
organs.
Yeah, your back is so integral to everything. Like, everything is connected in some way or shape or form to your back. So, so that obviously is going to play a role in his downfall. Okay. Injuries have diminished. The fact that he hasn't won the fact that Tiger Woods has not won a major since the 2008 U.S. Open, one of the great U.S. Open finishes of all time, on one leg. His last hoorah, his final moment in the sun was on one leg, winning the U.S. Open. And to see what his life has become, or his career has become, since that moment, like, it's just sad to me. And I don't know if this is rock bottom, but it's close to it. It's close to it, because he hasn't been able to win a major since then. He's struggling with injuries still. He's still struggling with his back injury. I don't want to speculate on anything, but if he was, I'm not saying that he is, but if he was addicted to painkillers, would it surprise anybody? No. Again, I have a back injury. I have a herniated disc in my back, and I have 2 bulging discs in my back. So if anybody can talk about this, and it's hard not to get addicted to painkillers. Like, when you have a back injury, you're in pain every day.
He's doing what 3 back surgeries?
3 back surgeries.
So, yeah.
So, this is a real thing. So, I come at it from the injury aspect of it. He's affected. And I think losing his father was the other part of it. Like, we all talk about how Kanye fell off once his mom died. Like, I feel like it happened to Tiger. Quietly, because I don't think anybody really paid attention to it. Unless you're a golf aficionado or a professional that follows it, who's in the industry. Like, Tiger Woods' dad, Earl, what was Tiger's dad's name? Earl Sr.? Earl Sr., like, he controlled, like, not even in a bad way, like, he was his guiding light. He was the guy that was, and Mike Francesa brought this up on WFEN the other day. That Earl Woods was the guy that would humble Tiger Woods. Because no matter what Tiger Woods did in his career, the one guy he couldn't say no to or could tell him no was Tiger Woods. Or was Earl Woods. Mm-hmm. And when you lose that, as you know, as any athlete has, you lose that support system. And you got hanger-ons and leeches and people like that want from you, that take from you, that. And I don't feel like Tiger Woods has ever dealt with losing his father. I feel like he feels like he's alone. Like, I don't want to fucking psychoanalyze a nigga because I don't know him, but like I feel like losing his dad has been something quietly that I don't think a lot of people have brought up. And I feel like that has contributed a lot to what we see now. I think injuries are the large percentage of it. Like if I had to put a percentage on it, I feel like 80% of it has been injuries. Mm-hmm. And the other 20% has been Earl Woods pass. And he hasn't been able to do or adjust his life to now making the decisions himself. Totally.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree. I totally agree. I think it's a bigger part. Like I've always said, like even when I seen the story come out, and people don't know the story, pulled over, found asleep behind the wheel. Mm-hmm. Outside of Jupiter, Florida, outside his home. You know, cops come up to the door, knock on the window. They get him awake. Both the driver's side, front and rear tires were air was gone. He obviously ran off the road and hit something.
Yeah.
The rims were scratched up and bent. So and he was 9 miles away from his home.
Yeah.
So when they questioned him, they asked him where was he going to and from. He said he was in LA. He was going to LA. Coming from somewhere in LA. But he was in Florida. So that shows you the mental aspect of he was not there at all. He wasn't there. Like they said he couldn't walk on his own. His speech was slurred. Yeah. And they assumed that it was from alcohol or some type of drug. However, after he was only in custody for probably like 6 or 7 hours. Probably just in booking, did the whole booking process and got released on bond or bail or whatever. So clearly, I want to say it was his prescription meds. And like you said, I never had a back injury. I never really broke anything besides my hands. You know, had messed up knees and ankles, but I've never had nothing severe as the severity of having to deal with a back issue. Like they said, this L4 and L5 they got fused together. Like I can only imagine how that feels trying to walk around or trying to walk again. I got my wisdom teeth pulled, all 4 at one time, and they gave me oxycodone. And I took 1 pill. The first day out there, I took 1 pill. And I couldn't fucking talk. Looked like a fucking chipmunk. Yeah. Couldn't talk nothing. Blood coming out everywhere. I took 1 pill. Slept for 21 straight hours. Yeah. I never took Oxycontin after that. I just dealt with the pain. I was like, yo, this can't be good for you. Yeah. So imagine, and I could deal with the pain because I knew it was going to end. They said they only gave me enough for 10 days. So I knew the pain was going to go away after the 10th day. But I wasn't walking around with the pain like, oh my gosh, my back, I can't take steps, I can't do this, I can't do that. So like you said, I'll defer to you when it comes to back pain. Like I don't understand how it feels for my back to hurt. My back twinges here and there, but it's nowhere near when you got bulging discs, herniated discs, and all this, you got to get fusions in your L4 and L5 discs in your back. Like that's way out of my realm. Yeah. And I understand you can get addicted to these pain pills.
Absolutely.
So, anything, you get addicted to aspirin. Imagine how you feel when you're getting Oxycontin and Vicodin and all this other great stuff that's going to make you feel better just to get away from the pain. But how I feel, I think Tiger's support system, whenever you're going through something this great or this major in your life, transferring over your support system. Like you said, his father, everybody knew Earl Sr. was the man. He created Tiger as we know. You always seen him out there whenever Tiger thought he was great. Earl would always bring him back down to earth and like, this is not what we built you for. We didn't build you for these mere mortal events. We built you to chase Jack Nicholson. We built you for this. Gary Player. We built you to be on the greats level. We didn't build you to be Phil Mickelson. We didn't build you to be Vijay Singh. We didn't build you to be Sergio Garcia. Yeah, no, we built you to be the great one. I built you to be the great one. Just like how we bash LeVar Ball about what he's doing with his kids. I didn't build you to be Penny Hardaway. I didn't build you to be, Allen Iverson. I didn't build you to be Jason Kidd. I built you to be Michael Jordan. I built you to be Kobe Bryant. I built you to be LeBron James. Same with the Williams sisters, their father. I didn't build you, just to compete. I didn't build you to be Sharapova. I built you to be Steffi Graf, to be better than Steffi Graf.
Yeah.
I built you to be better than Pete Sampras. You know, I built you to be on the man's level. You know, I built you to be the greatest of all time. Yeah. So in that factor, Earl built Tiger to be the greatest of all time. And like you said, it's not enough mention when his father died. A lot went away with that. A lot of security. You're the person that can humble you, but then even also your support system, your confidant. I can tell, just like you have kids now, and you want your kids to grow up and be able to tell you anything, and knowing they will stay with just you, because you were their provider at one time, and you were their protector at one time, and you will protect your kids to end all to all ends, right? You know, I think the same about my stepdad. I can tell my stepdad anything because I understand when I tell him something, it's a man talking to another man. It will be in confidence, and it won't go outside of me and his conversation. A lot to be said with that. And also, what people aren't saying enough is once he lost his dad, then he lost his wife, and a lot is to be said for that. The woman that bore your children into this world, and when you're going through your back issues now, when you have to take medication, you have to do all this. Who's that one person that's here for you? You're in Washington State. You know, your family's in New York, like you said, Milwaukee and Florida. Who's that one person you count on every day when you're having that pain and you just can't get through it?
Significant other, yeah.
Your wife, right?
Some would say, to be fair, some would say that he contributed.
Yeah, well, he did, but what I'm saying is he still lost it, regardless. So regardless of how he lost it, he still lost it. Yeah. So to this day, if you lost Stephanie, if you lost your wife, you know, a major part of your life would change. So your work ethic would change. You know, the way you show up to work, your attitude, your dedication, all of that will change. Your kids aren't living in your house anymore. You know, they're living with your wife now. And you got to get your kids on the weekend.
You got to share
So his support system, and Ellen probably played a huge role in his life. We don't know all them nights when he came after Earl died, because he was still on top after Earl died for a bit. How many times he had to come home crying from his father's death. How much drinking he did, or how many pills he was still on from the first back surgery.
How much fucking?
But she didn't know about the fucking then, because as soon as she found out, she was
fucking
out.
is a drug. Shit.
Yeah, but when she found out, she was out.
Yeah, she had no comment.
So his support system, man, it's probably put to shit, man, and he's been in the limelight for so long. It's hard to tell who's really there for you because they love you, and then it's hard to tell who's there for you for
who's
the money.
Who's a hanger on or who's a leech.
Yeah, so you have like when you're a teen idol, when you're a teen project, like, you don't know, and then for the one person, the head figure in all this, to leave you at this time or before this all happens, it's kind of hard. So I just pray for him, man. I hope he gets better. He needs help, man. Like Jack Nicklaus said, man, he's there for him, and if he needs help, he's there. I just think we make jokes about it. It's funny. Well, root of all evil, man. Something's really wrong at this point, man. Yeah, you wake up and you don't know where you at. Yeah. Them pain pills to control you. Yeah. And like I said, when I took my pain meds, like when I took that one oxycodone, when I eventually did wake up, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I feel you, dog.
So, and I imagine if you take it all the time, like you just wake up. I don't even think he knows he got into the car.
I try not to, man.
Yeah. I try not to. But you have people, like I said. Yeah. Tiger Woods took these meds when he was home alone, because he's of course it's his fault, but his wife isn't there, and it's his fault by all means. But I'm pretty sure if you take pain meds and you wake up, you know your wife's there with food. Yeah. Or are you okay? Getting you something to drink. You all right? You back okay? Taking care of you. At this point, he probably ain't got nobody that's strong in his life. So, and if he did, y'all fucked up. Y'all dropped the ball. I gotta let that man get in the car.
So dropped the ball super.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, you said everything I would have said and then some. So, if there is an issue with Tiger Woods, man, we hope he gets help. That's the most important thing. Yes, we're making fun of you at your expense.
Yeah,
but it's all jokes. Yeah, it's nothing personal.
Hope you get
real talk. I hope he gets better, man. Because the game has not been the same since he's fallen off.
Yeah, man.
Rory McIlroy doesn't do it for me. Jordan Spieth doesn't do it to me. Even though I love my nigga Bubba Watson, he's not doing it for me. So we definitely need Tiger Woods to at least get back, and at least maybe not be the dominant guy he once was, but at least chase the 4 that he needs to catch Big Jack.
We're past that.
We're past that point. He might not even win one.
Yeah, but we're talking about just getting on the course.
Yeah, just getting on. At this point, just getting back on the hill. and getting back up there. So we'll see. We're gonna cut it a little short because we're doing a 2-part show. Obviously, NBA Finals. Don't want to announce anything yet because we got some things in the works. We got our first interview booked. We got some guests for y'all. Do a special guest tomorrow for part 2 of this episode. But before we go, I wanted to get something off my chest, and this is directed at a special somebody, John Mara. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I read it.
Did you hear about this? John Mara basically exposed the biggest secret in the United States right now. That he basically believes that he didn't say this per se, but that he basically confirmed that Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed.
Yeah. I don't think it was.
And I know what people are going to say. Well, John Mara doesn't speak for the rest of the owners. Mm-hmm. If you think John Mara, owner of the New York Giants, John Mara, grandson of Wellington Mara, son of Wellington Mara, does not speak for the rest of the 32 owners. Mara, there's 3 big families in the NFL: the Rooney family, the Mara family, and the Kansas City owner. I'm drawing a blank right now. Fuck. I can't remember that fucking. We'll get back to that. There's 3 big families that control the NFL, or that are respected within the league. Mara, the Rooneys, and the family that owns the Chiefs. We'll say that. I'm drawing a blank right now for some fucking reason. But if anybody in America thinks that John Mara didn't speak for all 32 owners, or 30 of the 32 owners, then you believe in Santa Claus. Like, you believe in the Tooth Fairy, you believe in Santa Claus. You probably still believe
the
Hunt
family. That's
the Hunt.
Yeah,
Hunt
the
family.
Hunt family. Yeah.
The Hunt family.
That's fair.
You believe that wrestling is still real. Like that's your mindset. So with that being said, John Mara had an interview the other day, or I think was it the other day, right?
Yeah.
Where they asked him, and here's the weird part about it. First of all, he's talking about Colin Kaepernick being a fit on the Giants. Like, first of all, nobody even brought up the Giants as a fit for. Mm-hmm. So he basically went out of his way to divulge this information. Mm-hmm. Because, nobody had, never in this entire process since basically New Year's, when the NFL season ended, no one had brought up even the concept of the Giants potentially signing Colin Kaepernick, going after Colin Kaepernick, anything like that. So to me, that was already an issue onto itself. Mm-hmm. So the man basically made a statement that's saying, and I'm paraphrasing, that he wouldn't have signed. I don't think he would. He said, we wouldn't have signed Colin Kaepernick because he's gotten emails about email and hate mail about Giant fans have sent him emails and mail saying that any Giant player that ever kneeled, they would stop coming to Giants games because any player that ever kneeled for the flag as a Giant they would stop coming to Giant game. Mm-hmm. And John Mara basically accepted that, defended that, and said, he had a problem with that. He had a problem with he didn't per se say that he had a problem, but that's in as many words he said, I have a problem with Colin Kaepernick's stance. John Mara.
Well, I don't think he said it like he had a problem with the stance. He was just saying he didn't
want to lose. He had a problem with losing money because of the stance.
Yeah, exactly.
John Mara now. Mm-hmm. John Mara is going to take the stance. Mm-hmm. Needham Miranjal, Josh Brown, the same guy who said, I heard about his sexual assault, but we didn't think the explanation was what? What was the exact quote? I gotta get the exact fucking quotes because John Mara basically excused Josh Brown's assault on his wife.
That's domestic assault and domestic violence, sexual assault. Yep. Mm-hmm.
John Mara excused it. John Mara, the great John Mara, basically one of the patriarchs, the patriarch of the Giants. One of the patriarchs of the league. And this is the problem that I have with these fucking organizations. There's organizations in sports that have this holier than thou complex. Mm-hmm. The St. Louis Cardinals in baseball. Oh, the Cardinal way. Even though the St. Louis Cardinals were the last team to integrate. Mm-hmm. They forget the league. They don't add that little caveat into everything. The Cardinal way, we do things right. We play the game right. Even though you ain't let no niggas play for a long time. But they don't mention that.
Or the Kentucky, like the Wildcats. Kentucky, the last college team to integrate.
Yeah. Yeah. They love Mr. Rupp, right?
After they got ran off the court by the first team to start black. Oh,
exactly.
Shit. Then very next year, they get an African American player.
Exactly, right? It's amazing how those things happen.
And just remember, Pat Riley was on that Kentucky team that got railroaded.
It's amazing how it happens.
And Rupp was we love him. We're gonna name the gym after him. But go ahead. I digress. Let's get back to.
So there's these organizations that have that holier than thou complex. The Patriots, the Patriot way. We do things right, even though they signed Corey Dillon and they basically had fucking Aaron Hernandez in the bowl and gave him $40 million.
You gotta pay the shooter. Remember that, man. Pay your shooters, bro.
Yeah. But this man who admitted that he spoke to Josh Brown
and had facts on the situation. Gave Josh Brown the pass. Listen, man, I totally get it. I understand where your frustrations coming from.
I have quotes here. When we made the decision to re-signed him to a 2-year, I think it was like a 2-year, $8 million deal.
After you already had the information, only suspended him because the pressure came from the public.
Exactly. We made the decision to re-sign Brown back in 2016 because we were certainly aware of the arrest. We were also aware of the allegations associated with that arrest and the fact that the charges were dropped within a couple of days after the arrest, Mara said. Based on the facts and the circumstances, we were aware of at that time, and we were comfortable with our decisions to re-sign him. Let me get this straight, John Mara. You were comfortable re-signing a man that allegedly, at the time wasn't proven specifically yet, even though everybody had facts on that it happened, including his wife.
Yeah, they had her diary.
Yeah, no shit. A man that had assaulted, and not one time he got drunk, shit, man, my bad. No, that was a habitual assaulter of his wife on many occasions. You had no problem re-signing this man, John Mara. But Colin Kaepernick can't get a job?
Oh, and what you're missing on that, before they re-signed him, they also interviewed his wife after the accusations, and she told them, because she came on.
Yes, exactly. She told them
before they re-signed him. Yeah, he's beat me numerous times.
Numerous times.
Exactly.
Didn't she say at like Super Bowl?
Yeah.
During the Super Bowl, he broke down the hotel room and all that shit.
He was crazy.
Like, this nigga was nuts. A kicker, by the way. The kicker. This wasn't a fucking offensive lineman now.
It wasn't Lawrence Taylor out there who you could say.
I'll get to Lawrence Taylor because the Giants we're the Giants. We're the first family of football. We do things right. Although I love him to death. The greatest defensive player you and I have ever laid eyes on. But let's be fair here. Lawrence Taylor was not Muhammad Gandhi. He was not Mahatma Gandhi. Let's put that out there.
Shit,
he wasn't Gandhi. He wasn't Martin Luther. He wasn't Malcolm.
Shit.
He was not winning no humanitarian awards. Let's just put it that way.
He wasn't Corey Dillon. Listen, you can name him.
Not to mention, the Giants also had Plexico.
Yeah. Shoot him up, Plex.
Like, the gall to go on an interview to divulge information that nobody in the league circles. I never once heard anybody say, the Giants would be a good fit for Colin Kaepernick. No.
See, what I take from all of these circumstances.
But I'm not done, Luke. I'm gonna let you speak. I'm not done. I'm not done. The Giants, the first family of football, but Colin Kaepernick can't get a job. But Josh Brown can. And I'll take this, and then it's not just the Giants, because I know what people are gonna say. Oh, I'm a Giants hater. No. This goes beyond the Giants. Look at how many teams in the NFL need quarterbacks. We can make the case that about 10 teams have a solid hold on that position. 10 teams that have quarterbacks. And the rest, and there's 22 of them that don't have quarterbacks. Can you honestly make that case? About 22 teams that don't have quarterbacks? You mean to tell me Jacksonville can't use Colin Kaepernick?
Cleveland?
But I know what they'll say. He's not a good quarterback. Josh McCown, A guy who is, I think his career numbers are 13-26 as a starter, got $6 million guaranteed by my organization, my team. But I'm not surprised because my fucktard of an owner is he was more concerned with, instead of fielding a competitive football team last year, he was more concerned with being Donald Trump's bitch boy in England. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. It's the Jets, and we're used to being a fucking laughing stock. Moving on. Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, who had the worst, and this is not hyperbole. This man had the worst starting quarterback performance in a playoff game I have ever seen. Literally, in my 24 years of watching football on this earth, he had the worst starting quarterback performance in any playoff game I've ever seen. Brian Hoyer gets a job. Ryan Fitzpatrick, a man who threw 9 interceptions in 2 games. I watched it. I know. I was there for all of those painful 9 interceptions. A man that you can't make up throwing 9 interceptions in 2 games. I don't care how hard you try, you can't make that shit up. But hey, Ryan Fitzpatrick did. Mr. Harvard, Mr. Good Guy, who blamed the Jets for why he struggled last year. Because I think he forgot that he threw at one point in the season, he had 2 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I think he forgot that part. Yeah. Fuck you too, Ryan.
Mike Glennon. $45 million.
Mike Glennon. A stiff.
45 mil, man.
Who's Mike Glennon?
Was he 5-13 for his career?
Mike Glennon. But the one that gets me the most, and this is going back to the Giants, the one that gets me the most, and I'm going to center my microphone here so y'all can hear me. The Giants, as a backup quarterback, signed Geno Smith. Geno Smith could get a job in the NFL, but Colin Kaepernick can't. Listen, if you believe this bullshit fairy tale that these owners are telling y'all that, oh, well, his contract demands are too much or that he can't play anymore. You believe wrestling is real. You believe in Santa Claus. You believe in the Tooth Fairy. You believe in the Chupacabra. You believe that there's aliens in outer space. You believe that Elvis is still alive. That Tupac is in Cuba. You believe that Biggie had a heart transplant and that's the real reason he died. I mean, you believe in all these fucking myths because the shit is on the table. John Mara, again, one of the patriarchs of the league, or the son of the patriarchs of the league, basically, in as many words said, the man is being blackballed.
Blackballing him, B.
And no one has a problem with this. Again, you are not going to be able to convince me that Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point in time is a better quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. You're not going to convince me. I'm sorry. You're not going to do it to me. You can't. Your hands are too short to box with God on that one. You just can't. You can't. Jacksonville can't use Colin Kaepernick? Because Blake Bortles is, you're just hitting home runs with Blake Bortles. Minnesota can't use Colin Kaepernick? Minnesota now. Teddy, who is literally on one leg, and Sam Bradford, who is Sam Bradford, but, can't use Colin Kaepernick. The Browns! The Browns! You mean to tell me that the Browns and Jim Haslett, he's an impeccable owner. He's a guy that's the pristine image of ethics. Isn't Jim Haslett being sued for defrauding customers? Yeah. I'm going there tonight. But the Browns can't use Colin Kaepernick. No. The Browns, who haven't had a quarterback since Bernie Kosar, literally since Bernie Kosar, the Browns who pin their future on Derek Anderson, on Brady Quinn.
Hey man, shout out Brady
Quinn. Need I say more?
Need
I say more? But they can't use Colin Kaepernick. Cody Kessler is that much of a better option. Cody Kessler.
Yeah, man.
Brock Osweiler. They're hitting home runs with that one.
They are.
That's who y'all gonna go with?
Deshaun Kaiser, right? Didn't
Deshaun Kaiser. I'm sorry, man. You can't do it. If you're gonna get on there and say, "Oh no, they're not blackballing Colin Kaepernick. He's an asshole. He deals for that." We're not even gonna get into the merits of the debate, whether we're past that at this point.
Skill and talent. That's what we're talking about. Yes.
You're really gonna sit there and argue with me that Colin Kaepernick doesn't deserve a job, or at least the opportunity to compete for a job?
Most people don't understand that. Last year, that San Francisco team was terrible. You had no.
Blaine Gabbert still has a job. Blaine Gabbert is the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Blaine Gabbert still has a job.
Most people don't know. He threw 16 touchdowns last year.
Matt Hasselbeck played until he was 50.
He threw 16 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions last year.
People forget that.
Yeah. Like Colin Kaepernick with that terrible San Francisco team threw 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. It's a great ratio.
I'm done, man. I don't even want to talk about this shit no more. I'm getting so heated and so upset that I don't even want to give these people more ammunition, man.
Is that your foul?
These haters no, it's not the foul of the week. Buster Posey's the foul. I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Buster Posey, that was a bitch move.
Hold on, man. We ain't get to that yet, man. We ain't get to that. Hold on, calm down.
But listen.
But I think John Mara, at the end of the day, I think what he's doing is he's saying, even with all the past instances, I believe the Mara family have always put money above character. And that's exactly what he's saying. If I lose money by bringing a player on, that's what I think that's the gist of it.
That's the gist of it.
He was like, if I lose money, I'm not going to bring in the product.
Here's my problem. Like, if you're blackballed, just come out and say it.
But
I would have more respect for y'all if you just come out and say it.
My argument isn't against the owner, like John Mara or any owner that's blackballing Kaepernick or Cap. My argument is against the people in America. Like, I'm tired. Like, we don't live behind this sequence window anymore. Like, I know you guys have been brainwashing people for the racism is there. There's no such thing as racism. We have a black president. And then once the black president walks away, and then America, after 8 years, all of a sudden we fix racism. And then this era, we're seeing the true color. I've always seen the true colors of America. We've always known racism exists. Now what happens is you have a person protesting. Whether we agree with the protest or not. He didn't commit a crime, he protested.
His right to protest.
And trust me, we're both, me and Manny are military veterans. I fought for the right for him to protest. He didn't do anything violent or loud. He didn't do anything obnoxious. He did silently. And some people argue about the silent part because he did interviews and all. When he did the protest, it was silent. He didn't make a word. He didn't stand up and say, he didn't turn his back to the flag. He didn't get up and say, I'm walking out and I'll wait till the flag after the anthem's over. He gradually took his knee during the anthem, which he has the right to do. Which we have freedom, right? Why are people so afraid of freedom for some odd reason? You have freedom, but you don't want people to impose their freedom rights, their freedom acts. So, but it's just going to show you all these fans. That's what I'm disappointed in. The fans who sent these letters that said, "Oh, he kneeled and he shouldn't have kneeled the flag. That's not the right way to protest." Well, show me the right way to protest. What's the right way? There is no right way. When Martin Luther King was marching on Washington, you had a problem. People had a problem with that. When Malcolm X in the Islam, the Nation of Islam were marching and holding marches and threatening violence, it was a problem with that. When the Black Panthers had their movement, it was a problem with that. There is no right way to protest. And you have to understand that. Everybody will have a problem with somebody's going to have a problem with anything. Nobody's going to be on the same page or accord. But the problem is when you're in a position of power, when you're in a position to change, like these owners and GMs are in football, and you're gradually saying, hey, I bow to the pressure of the public because I don't have enough gall to stand on my own 2 feet, then that's when you sit in and say, well, the public wins. And it's not majority of the people. I fail to believe it's majority of the people that believe that Colin Kaepernick did something wrong. I fail to believe that in society. I think it's a small portion, and they get the majority of the media hype, and they get their voices, amplified. But I believe that people are so afraid of being wrong nowadays. They're, oh my gosh, if I agree with this, then they think I'm not patriotic. No, it doesn't. That means you are patriotic. If you say, hey man, you have the freedom to do what you want to an extent without violence or causing a stir, then you can do it. And that's what it It wasn't violent, and it didn't. All he did was take a knee. So that's what I think the Mara family is all about. The bottom line is the dollar with them.
But my thing is, and I'm gonna end it with this. We're gonna do files of the week tomorrow after the second part of the show. But I gotta
get mine off now, man.
No, we gonna save.
No, I gotta do mine now, man.
We gonna save it.
I got one for tomorrow and today, man. I gotta get mine off my chest.
Okay, I'm gonna save mine to tomorrow.
Yeah, you say yours.
I'm already just angry. But the thing that pisses me off is that I'm a person that just don't sugarcoat shit for me.
Yeah, I get it.
Come out and say it. I would have more respect for these owners if they said, you know what? Hey, that nigga stepped out of his place.
Nobody's gonna.
You're not gonna say that specifically. But that nigga stepped out of his place. And you know what? We're gonna punish him and we're gonna blackball him. At least say it. Say that we're blackballing him. That we don't want him in our league anymore. We don't want that type of representation in our. And
I can understand.
Exactly. I would understand. I would disagree with it still, and I would call y'all some fuckboys for it. But I would at least respect it. But this hemming and hawing, we certainly will never blackball Colin Kaepernick. He's just not that good enough to play anymore. But Ryan Fitzpatrick is. Again, this is how I'm gonna end this. Greg Hardy, Josh Brent killed his teammate. He killed his teammate. Yeah, and he gets an opportunity to play in the NFL again. Greg Hardy threw his pregnant girlfriend on a bed of guns.
Shot her, bro. Ooh, yeah.
And business as usual.
What was it?
That motherfucker can get to the quarterback. We're gonna give him a shot.
That manslaughter charge. Dante Stallworth? Yeah, and he got a job with my Redskins.
Oh my god, man.
I get it.
You can't make this shit up. You cannot. I don't care how hard you try. You can't make this shit up. The goal. So, you know what? And I always used to respect John Mara, even though I hate the fucking Giants. I respected that family, but I hate the holier. Don't give me the holier doubt because, again, Lawrence Taylor was not Mother Teresa.
Yep, sure wasn't.
But,
let's get to my foul of the week then.
Your fouls of the week, man. Go ahead.
All right, man. So, I got to get this off my chest, man.
Go ahead.
And since I said it on Facebook Live, I wanted to get through it today. How do I start this off? So, I was watching a clip on YouTube, and then somebody put it on Facebook, so I went and watched it on Facebook. They tagged me on it, and I believe it was you, probably. Yeah, it probably was you. And your boy Rob Parker was on the Colin Cowherd show, and you tagged me because you know it would boil my blood. You know how to get under my skin, and he went on there, and as he started the interview. Rob Parker, for one, you're the biggest hater I know, by the way. But we're not. Brady's the luckiest quarterback ever. We'll get to that conversation sometime later when football season starts. But we're going to talk about this whole how the LeBron James destroyed the NBA.
Hey, man.
Right?
Arguably.
So I get to when he first had his first segment, the first thing Rob Parker said out of his mouth, he was talking about AAU ball, gaining the big three. Destroyed the NBA because of the parity, and we already argued about the parity. It never existed in the NBA anyway, right?
It's a myth.
Then he goes on about how when he leaves, his legacy is going to be about people joining other teams and breaking down that parity in the NBA, and he's the reason, he's the root, and he's the problem, and that's going to be his disdain on his legacy, or that's going to be his legacy.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan was the greatest of all time because he left the NBA at what state? So, to you, Rob Parker, and to that bullshit interview you gave on Colin Cowherd, this is the myth. This I want to break down you and this analogy that you gave about why Michael Jordan was so great and LeBron will never obtain it. I can argue that Michael Jordan is the reason why the NBA struggled for so long after he retired. Michael Jordan left the NBA in shambles. Michael Jordan left the NBA. You remember, he retired for one. Michael Jordan's the same guy who retired in his prime. For 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I can argue that because somehow we always forgive Michael Jordan for his infidelities. I can argue Michael Jordan cheated on his wife, had a baby outside of his marriage, and destroyed his own life, right? Because we're going to get dirty with this MJ shit.
She made off right. They get $200 million for that.
Hey, I'm just saying, we're going to make this right with MJ. We forget the indiscretion of
half.
I'm gonna tell you what we don't forget. We forget the indiscretion of his gambling problems, which some speculate that ended up in his father getting killed. But no. No. But okay, that's personal. We're gonna get off the personal issues, right?
Yeah.
How about we get onto when Michael Jordan, Jerry Colangelo words, not mine.
very mobbish though.
Yeah, exactly. But Jerry Colangelo words, not mine. When they originally tried to get the Dream Team together. Remember, Jerry Colangelo went to Michael Jordan first. Hey, I'm gonna pitch this idea. I want to start the Dream Team. I want to start a team. We want to call it the Dream Team, the Olympic team with NBA players. We're going to get 11 NBA players, 1 college player. Remember this idea? And Michael Jordan said, don't come back to me until you have other NBA players on this roster. Right? That's what he said. No, Michael Jordan didn't take the lead to be a leader and say, hey, I'm signed up, you sign up too. He ain't go to Magic and Bird and say, you sign up. He ain't go to Drexler, he ain't go to Barkley, he ain't go to Karl Malone, he ain't go to none of these guys and say, you sign up. He waited till the other stars got on, then he jumped on board. Because it was the first time it had been done, so we must understand that also. But also, remember when he blackballed Isaiah Thomas from the arguably the best point guard in the NBA ever? Arguably, he blackballed Isaiah Thomas. Now, if LeBron James blackballed Steph Curry from an Olympic team, imagine the hysteria that would go on. But we give MJ passes. We like to give MJ passes. So okay, I'm not going to downgrade MJ and say I believe MJ is the greatest of all time at this time. But then we're going to go on to this myth that LeBron destroyed basketball, and this is what really got me hot. Because he wanted to join his friends and play together, because they play AAU ball together. So I'm gonna stand up for this, and I'm gonna go look straight at the mic, and I'm gonna look at you at the same time.
All right.
LeBron James did not create AAU basketball. It was there before him. He was just nearly born. Hold on, like Batman, like Bane said, he was just born into the darkness. So AAU basketball was created by who? Adidas and Nike. Phil Knight. So I can arguably say Michael Jordan created AAU basketball. I can argue that the McDonald's All-Star Game, every year when you play a high school players, it wasn't around when Jordan was a kid, but it's around now. And who sponsors that game? Who pays for that game? Michael Jordan, right? So he created this monster. So don't blame Jesus, aka LeBron James, for the dirt that's on this earth. Blame God. God created this. Michael Jordan created AAU basketball in turn. Michael Jordan created the shoot guard, the shooting guard, which we call him, but we call him the shoot guard, and the hero basketball. I can argue that LeBron James brought teamwork back to basketball. And I can argue that that Michael Jordan destroyed basketball and made it a one-on-one game. Isn't that ironic? So when you state, Rob Parker, when you come out here and you state these phallus ideas that LeBron James will destroy the game of basketball because he wanted to play basketball with his friends. In all honesty, LeBron James didn't join Miami knowing that he was creating the Big Three. I mean, he went there and said, okay, now we're the Big Three. Okay. But everybody knows the reason was to get over Boston. Because he couldn't get through Boston by himself. In Cleveland, like you said earlier, their management was J.J. Hickson for Amari Stoudemire. That's all I need to say. So he went there. He knew the only way to beat Boston was to get with a management that could surround him with the weapons to compare to Boston. Michael Jordan never had to leave Chicago because who built that?
Yeah, Jerry Krause.
And what did he give him? Talent. You don't have to leave Chicago when they give you Dennis Rodman, when they give you Tony Kukoc, when they draft Scottie Pippen, when you already have B.J. Armstrong, when you eventually get Ron Harper, when you have Bill Weddington, we have Bill Cartwright, and Bill Cartwright was a damn good player when he was with the Knicks. So come on now. So when you have the management that's going to put all in, you don't have to leave. Yes, he left Cleveland to go to Miami to chase chips. But I can argue that he's a kid that got drafted in a situation that nobody's ever been in LeBron James' shoes before. We've never seen this before. Ever. This is the first. I can argue that LeBron James is the first athlete we've ever seen to outdo his potential. We granted, like you remember, LeBron James, 16, his games were on ESPN. We didn't, but the media dubbed him the chosen one at 16. You dubbed a 16-year-old to be the savior of basketball. And you know why you dubbed him to be the savior of basketball? Because the NBA was dying. You remember before hip hop came in Allen Iverson, it was a window between Allen Iverson, right? Between Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson, right? Before Allen Iverson took over the NBA. Once Jordan retired, the NBA was dead in the water.
I wouldn't say dead. That's
it was dead.
That's a little strong.
It was star stuff.
I'll let you.
They were starved of stars. That's what they were. Of the MJ caliber. That's what I'm saying. Of the legendary status, right? Because you think about it. After MJ, who was the next big thing? Shaq, right?
Shaq.
But Shaq wasn't when Jordan retired, Shaq wasn't in his prime yet.
No.
So we didn't, and then Kobe came along afterwards, of course. But so you had that window, which allowed Allen Iverson to be Allen Iverson, and then Shaq, of course, becomes the dominant Shaq he is. Kobe Bryant becomes Kobe Bryant, and then of course LeBron James carries on the torch. But I can argue that this was all started from the God. The God started this downfall. What was basketball before Michael Jordan? A team sport, right? Get a great team. Get a lot of good role players. You play that movement basketball. Hold on, no. Michael Jordan comes in with his great athleticism. He had good to great shooting. Precise. Got better as his career got along. But he had great athleticism to jump out the gym. The greatest athlete probably most people have ever seen. Took over the game, right? Now and then he created the shooting guard who plays hero ball. A.K.A. the Allen Iversons. You know what? Because Allen Iversons are great. A.K.A. the Monte Ellises of the world. You see what I'm saying here? The guys who just go, hey, I'm going to get mine. That was the Michael Jordan mentality. I can get 40. I can get 55. So that's all I'm saying. Rob Parker, when you come up with these fallacies about how LeBron James destroyed basketball, how he did all this, he did all that, just remember, he was just born into the sport. He was born into this era. He didn't choose this era. You can't fault him for the era he falls into. Of course, Michael Jordan never played with his friends because he didn't grow up playing in high school with his friends. LeBron James did. And it's not LeBron James' fault he did play with his friends in high school and play AAU ball. I can argue it's Michael Jordan's fault because he created the AAU game. Phil Knight, Nike, and Adidas created the AAU tournaments and the AAU games, allowing people to cross the country and play together. So before you say that, it all boxed from the God, man, a.k.a. Michael Jordan. Don't blame Jesus for the world he enters. Blame God for creating that world.
Fair.
Now, Rob Parker, don't say nothing. When football season starts, I'm going to get on you again about that. Tom Brady's the luckiest quarterback of all time. Dumbass. I don't even know why you still got a job, man. What's wrong with you?
Shout out to Rob Parker.
Nah, man, he should have been fired you. I don't even know how you got a job,
Shout
bro.
out to Rob Parker. I think you should have mad when you still mad about Rob Parker when he called out RG3.
Yeah, you know I am. Me and Rob Parker got real beef. Every time he say something, I find something to disagree with.
Oh man, listen, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up part one of our show right now. We're gonna come back at y'all. We're gonna have a pre-NBA Finals show for y'all tomorrow. Like I said, we got a guest or two coming through. Can't reveal it yet. It hasn't been officially confirmed. But we got some pretty good guests coming through to holler at us on the show. Our very first guest, man. So it's a big deal for us, man. Big deal. So we gave y'all almost 3 hours today. We're gonna give y'all probably an hour tomorrow with our guest. Anyway, we're gonna come at y'all right before the finals. I think we'll give our set in stone official predictions. I mean, we basically gave our predictions today, but it's gonna be ironclad tomorrow night. Right before the finals, like, yo, who we picking, MVP, all that. So, for my man Anthony Lucas, I am Manny Fresh. We are out. Check us out tomorrow. Download our next show, our part 2 to this episode today. And also, as always, man, thank you for listening. Follow us on Facebook, The Technical Foul Podcast, on Twitter, The TF Podcast 1. And, of course, this show is always available on the Technical Foul Podcast SoundCloud page. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, TuneIn. We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere. So we'll be back tomorrow, right before the finals, with our pre-show, if you want to call it that. But we're going to call it part 2 of this episode, and we'll holler at y'all, man. Peace.